Online. CatchOfTheWeekEdmonton.com.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
50, 50, 50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You want done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza.
60 cubes. Cunningham shaking base. Cunningham fires.
Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations. Restrictions may apply.
Measles is very dangerous during pregnancy, increasing the risk of many severe health-related complications. If you're planning to become pregnant, make sure you have received 2 doses of the vaccine at least 1 month before conception. Don't get measles, get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Smart, connected, community-driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor, 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every Edmonton playoff game for the Legacy Heating and Cooling postgame show. Visit the experts at legacyheating.ca. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Turn on, I'll see red.
The Jason Gregor Show.
The wall, killing more clock. 20 seconds left on this Utah power play. Vegas off ice, an aggressive stand. Steal by Halley.
On Sports 1440.
Shot from the right star. The Flyers win. New York beating the Seahawks in overtime.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
6 to shoot. Cunningham shaking big. Cunningham fires.
Well, a tremendous Thursday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, we are coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Your place to watch the game tonight. And you know what? When the game's over, Oilers win. Oh, there's I can say it right now, Connor. There's going to be a lot of romance at OTR because it is salsa night after the game. And I don't know if you've ever been to salsa night, but I can tell you it is it's quite an event. So if I actually when I was doing a dance thing many years ago, I practiced here a few times. I tell you, there's some legit dancers. So you think you got what it takes to shake it, or you just want to learn, I would recommend coming down here. You mix sports and entertainment and then a little dancing. It's like the perfect night, gentlemen or ladies. Start your weekend early on a Thursday night at OTR tonight. Jasper Ave, 118th Street, of course. Game 6, a pivotal game tonight. Must-win game for the Edmonton Oilers, their second of the series. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of PlayAlberta.ca. And Oilers on the road are the favorite. We'll see if they live up to it tonight. Lineup changes, not expecting any. McDavid and Dickinson didn't take the morning skate, but that's not a surprise. Why would they? Hey, there's no reason to now. Let them rest. They didn't take the morning skate in Game 5. Both played. I didn't see anything in game 5 that would suggest they're not going to play tonight for the Oilers. So it looks like Trent Frederick. He was skating in McDavid's spot, so he's likely the guy who will sit out again tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Ducks will obviously go back to Lucas Dostal in goal. Dostal had a tough one against the Edmonton Oilers. Dostal, now it's a small sample size, but Dostal now has the worst goal saved above expected in the NHL playoffs right now. So Oilers, hey, you're now later in the playoffs. I believe experience of being in situations matters. So tonight will be the Oilers' 13th elimination game that they have played in since 2022. They're 8-4 in the previous 12. And then here's the stat, if you believe that stats will repeat themselves. The Oilers are 8-0 in those games when they score first. Obviously, they're 0-4 when the other team scores first. The 0-4 happened against Colorado in Game 4 of 2022, overtime loss. Game 6 against Vegas. That was the night. Remember, Marchessault scored like 24 seconds into the game. Ekholm just kind of misplayed the puck in the corner. And then you had Game 7, where Panthers, Stanley Cup Final, 2024, they went up. Now, the Oilers tied it right away, but ended up losing that game 2-1. And then Game 6 last year in Florida, that one wasn't really close. They scored 4 minutes in, did the Panthers, and went on to a 5-1 victory. They never trailed the rest of the game. So the Oilers, though, when they get the lead in an elimination game, they're good. So you know what? You've got the experience. You do. This is a group that's been through all this. You know, I don't expect them to panic, even if they get down, because the difference is the teams they lost to, Colorado, Vegas, Florida, they all won the Cup. Are the Ducks a team you think is going to win the Cup? I don't know. So if the Oilers, you should be able to come back when playing the Ducks. That's kind of how I would view it. That should be a team, if they score first tonight, which would be the first time in the series, you would find a way to come back and win. You got no choice. It's win or go home for the Edmonton Oilers. Now the Ducks, they could lose, and they still play Game 7 Saturday in Edmonton. No official start time. We do know now at most there'll be 2 Game 7s on Saturday, because last night the Philadelphia Flyers in overtime get the winner 1-0 over Pittsburgh. So the Flyers move on. The Pittsburgh Penguins are the 3rd team eliminated from the 2026 NHL playoffs. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. That's where you can text us or call us. We'll get your thoughts. How you feeling, Oilers fans? I'm curious. I know there was a lot more concern before Game 5. There's a lot of people that thought, geez, I don't think they're going to win. Now they won that game. They won it pretty handily. Will it continue tonight? That's a great part about the playoffs. What happens a previous game doesn't guarantee that it'll repeat itself the next game. You got to play well. The Oilers got to outwork them, outsmart them. Ideally, you get a lead. Put the Ducks on their heels a little bit. That could be beneficial. Now we know, look at Game 4 in Anaheim. Or no, Game 3 in Anaheim. That's where they were all over the Oilers. All over them in Game 3. They outshot them 20-7 in the first period. Since then, though, since Game 3, the Oilers, they played 2 games. They haven't trailed in Game 4. They didn't trail in Game 5. They got the lead. Now, obviously, they let the lead go twice in Game 4, so not ideal. They were better at protecting the lead in Game 5. Probably sat back a bit too much for a lot of people's liking, but the Ducks didn't score a goal 5-on-5. So while you didn't love it, it worked. It was also a 3-goal deficit. And that's a lot different than a 1 or a 2. And they did pull within 2 there briefly, but then Edmonton scored on the power play pretty much right after, within 2 minutes, because the Ducks, that was crazy. Trouba took that penalty only like 16 seconds after Killorn had made it 3-1. And because Edmonton had been a little squeaky, a little leaky in leads prior, there was a little bit of nervousness, I think, amongst Oilers fans after Killorn made it 3-1, but didn't matter as the Oilers hold on for that big win. And we'll see. Can they push it to a Game 7? The Anaheim Ducks have not won a playoff series since 2017. When they beat the Edmonton Oilers in the second round, they'd go on to lose in the third round, and then they got swept the next year, and this is the first time back in the playoffs since 2018. So you've got a fan base that's hungry for a win. They'll be super excited. I don't think the Ducks are going to sit back, but you wonder about small little plays. Did Dostal, how's he going to respond? What if the Oilers can get to him early? We'll see. The Oilers have scored early here. 2 minutes and 22 seconds in Game 5, 38 seconds in Game 4, 7 minutes in Game 3. They've been able to get ahead of the Ducks. Now it's just a matter of holding on for the entire game if they get the lead. Last night, of course, the Montreal Canadiens getting themselves one step closer to the second round as they defeated Tampa Bay by a score of 3-2. Close game. Brandon Gallagher ended his 19-game scoreless drought. Kirby Dach, good for him. There's a few idiots online beaking him off. He scored again. And then Texier scored the winner in the third period. Meanwhile, Vegas and the Mammoth, crazy game. Utah was so close. They thought they were going to win. They're up 4-3. They're in the final minute. Vegas didn't have a shot for 6 straight minutes. And then Dorofeev got his hat trick goal to tie the game with 53 seconds left. And then Brett Howden shorthanded. Man, Kerfoot's going to have nightmares. When you watch that shorthanded goal, that is a great example of a guy who's on the power play thinking, you know what? I don't have to work that hard. Kerfoot let up. He let up in the corner, and Howden got the puck, ends up ripping it home. And now Vegas is up 3-2. Utah will go back home for Game 6 to see if they can push it to a Game 7, which would be on Sunday. Now, if you're an Oilers fan, you definitely want that series to go 7, because if you believe your team's going to go 7, then if the Oilers win in Game 7, they get an extra day's rest, because Utah and Vegas, the earliest they would play is Tuesday if they have a Game 7 on Sunday night. And then the earliest, let's say Vegas wins tomorrow and Edmonton wins their series, and the earliest it could start would be Monday in Vegas. So there's always at least one day off. You don't go back-to-back from Game 7 to a Game 1 ever. So sometimes they try to give you an extra day. So we'll see how it goes. Colorado hasn't played forever, so I could see, Colorado maybe saying, hey, can we be the West team that plays the first night, which would give the other one a little bit of extra rest. Coming up on the show today, Landon Ferraro will join us. Owen Newkirk will be by. We'll set up the other game tonight. There is 2 elimination games. And by the way, I talked about the Oilers 8-0 in elimination games since 2022. How about this year in the NHL playoffs? Teams are 6-1 in elimination games when they score first. The only team that has come back was Boston. They got down 1-0 to Buffalo, tied it, and then Pasternak won it in overtime. That's it. So, hey, scoring first lately in elimination games is a big positive, and we'll see if the Oilers can do it tonight. The Dallas Stars will be looking to do it. Can they score 5-on-5? Can they get anybody outside of their top 4 guys to get going? They don't have a lot of production. They've only scored 3 goals 5-on-5 in the whole playoffs thus far. It's kind of crazy. Zach Kavanaugh will join us, give us the Duck side of things from the Sporting Tribune in Anaheim. We got Speck. We got DVD. Tater will join us. So also David Owens with Sherbrooke Liquor. Busy show for you today. Conman, last night, I don't know if you were up watching that overtime game or not, but my God, Newhook, that was just a prime example of lackadaisical in overtime, and it killed you.
Yeah, I did stay up to watch that one. Obviously, double OT on an 8 o'clock start. Not ideal, but you think if you're the Utah Mammoth in that one, like, they've got this. Power play in overtime, had a good opportunity, couldn't bury it, and goes the other way. And obviously, fortunate for the Vegas Golden Knights. But that's been a fun series. And I got to think, the Utah Mammoth in this series, going back to even with Game 3, I mean, they had a lead late, allowed Vegas to get back into it. It's going to be a lot of what ifs if they can't find a way to even this one up and move on. But fun hockey for sure. And that's why we watch. Even shorthanded, a guy a threat to score, and Howden came up clutch.
Yeah, very true. Hey, guys, special teams has told the tale in the playoffs for the Oilers. I'd assume the story has to be the same tonight. They have to at least break even to have a chance. Wow. Their special teams, their power play's been fine. It's the penalty kill. Like, I think we got to be very abundantly clear here. It is the penalty kill that's been brutal. Now, the Oilers, each team scored a power play goal, but the Oilers outscored them like 5-on-5. Edmonton's been better, I think, overall. And it's really their penalty kill. Obviously, they'll try to eliminate the amount of penalties they take. Captain obvious, of course. But I look at Edmonton, and really, you're going to take a penalty at some point here. Like, let's be realistic here. Does anybody think the Oilers are going to go into this game and be penalty free? Kind of not realistic, I wouldn't think. So, the Ducks have their power play really good. 7 goals on 14 chances. Like, it is rolling, to say the least. The Oilers are 28.6%. Nothing wrong with it. 4 out of 14. But they've given up a shorty. So the last few games, 5-on-5, you control the game there. Edmonton's been better for the most part, 5-on-5. And if that continues, should be good. As long as they don't take too many penalties. And at some point, you'd think their penalty kill could figure it. Like, I'm not saying they're going to go perfect every game, but my goodness, like 50% all the time is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, is Laine healthy? Is he cleared to play? Just interested from Bird. Honestly, I haven't read anywhere about Laine's availability and health. So I don't know if it's really a big deal, right? For him. I don't see any news for him getting in. I'll say that. So he's just it's unfortunate that he's been so banged up, but they said he'd be out for 3 to 4 months. I haven't seen anywhere. I have to look it up. I haven't seen anything saying he's cleared, but I haven't seen anything that says he's not cleared either. I just haven't looked into it because I don't think there's any chance that guy's getting into the playoffs anytime soon for the Montreal Canadiens. We'll take a quick break. Landon Ferraro will join us. We'll give you some more numbers. We got our stats of the day that I think some of you will be intrigued by. Evan Bouchard doing things that very few defensemen in NHL history have done. Leon Draisaitl, same thing. We'll get to some of those numbers, as well as the key matchups, I think, tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. And if you can win those matchups, I think they got a very good chance to win the game. We got text wondering about the lines. I don't see any reason why Knobloch after Game 5 is going to change his lines. I would expect he'll start McDavid with Draisaitl and Kapanen and Podkolzin, Nugent Hopkins and Hyman. Dickinson between Savoy and Roslovic, and Szymanski between Lazar and Doc. Defense pairings remain the same. We saw them have a few shifts. Wallman was with Bouchard at times, and I think Emerson and Nurse had a few shifts, so it'll happen. But overall, it's going to be a status quo for the Edmonton Oilers and their lineup. Will return. It's a Gregor Show live at On the Rocks. Jasper Ave, 118th Street, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy for comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, 2 of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. And yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
In like a lion or like a lamb, out like a goat. That's greatest offer of all time with Sherwood Honda. While there's plenty of goats on the lot, you can also custom order yours. Pick your Honda model with the color, interior, trim, and technology for the ride you've always wanted. Sherwood Honda can help you build and price your new Honda to make it the greatest order of all time. Pre-ordering sure would be simple and satisfying with help from Sherwood Honda.
Is your business ready to grow? Not sure how? We have your solution. We are Stingray. Whether your customers are around the corner or across the country, Stingray connects you with radio to digital advertising, including connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out of home. From idea to execution, we've got you covered. With creative and production, cross-platform integration, detailed reporting, and one-on-one support, it's the easy way to make your business grow. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza. Loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Monday warrior, mean strike.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day, making plans for tonight, getting together, family, friends. Maybe you want to go out, check it out at OTR, Jasper Ave 118th. All sorts of specials, 69-cent wings during the game. We got all sorts of specials galore leading up and to the game, and they play score and win. So when the Oilers win, you can win. So check it out tonight on the Rocks. And of course, today is our favorite game at PlayAlberta.ca, the Daily Grand. Your chance to win $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. A cool $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. So the Edmonton Oilers in Anaheim tonight, another must-win game for the Oilers. This is a situation they've been in lots over the last few years. Tonight will be their 13th eliminate when they're facing elimination, not when they're up 3-1. I'm talking when they're facing elimination. If we included games where their opponents face elimination, obviously that'd be some different numbers because last year against Vegas, they've won all their games. Obviously, when you look at it that way, so it's a better record. I'm just talking when the Oilers are facing elimination. Like tonight, they're 8-4 since 2022, and they're 8-0 when they score first and 0-4 when they give up the first goal. A little different because Colorado, Vegas, and Florida, those are the three teams they lost to. Those teams were all Stanley Cup winning teams. I'm not sold that the Ducks are a Stanley Cup winner at this stage of where they're at as an organization. So, if you do give up the first goal tonight, it shouldn't be like close the coffin, season over. You should be able to bounce back, unless I guess it's an overtime winner like last night for Philadelphia. That might be the only way I would look to say, okay, you can't come back from this. But now let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center, and coming later this year. You get your tickets, Silent Ice Center. Oh man, if Brownlee was still around, he'd be front row. He'd be all over this. Gene Simmons band is coming to the Silent Ice Center. For all of you Kiss fanatics and more, you might want to get your tickets early because it is going to sell out quickly. So check it out at the Silent Ice Center. As Landon Ferraro, former NHL'er, he of course is our pre and post game analyst here on Sports 1440. Also does some stuff for Sportsnet in Vancouver. And Landon, how much do you buy into experience mattering more in elimination game type of scenario?
It is important. A team does have to break through eventually, and there's always the outliers, but I think for the most part it is an experience-based part of the series, right? Like it's so hard to close out a series. Even you're listing off the scoring first in elimination games and games this year. Like, of course that's important, but even if the Ducks get out to a 2-0 lead, as that game gets closer to the end and Edmonton makes their bigger pushes, like it's a something other than Killorn, Granlund, and a couple other veterans on that team that none of those guys have felt before. And it's a completely different feeling. And it's hard to not turn your head to, say it's in the third and Anaheim's up 1. And there's 10 minutes left. Like, we're 10 minutes away from moving on. We're 10 minutes away from eliminating Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like, those things pop into your head. And that's where experience takes over because there is nothing else to think about, right? And for the Oilers and the guys that have been on this team and gone on those runs, whether they're up or down, like they do understand the significance of staying in the moment and just winning your next shift, your next battle.
What do you make of the play by Savoy and Roslovic so far in the series?
I'll say with Savoy, I don't mean this in a mean way, but predictable in a sense, right? Like, he's on the smaller side. Like it took him 3/4 of the season to figure out how his game translates to success and production in the NHL. Well, we've heard for as long as any of our memories remember about what a different game the playoffs are, and it's a whole different thing. He's got to learn, and I'm not worried about him long term. I think he'll keep taking his steps. Roslovic, on the other hand, it's tough for him. It's the main topic when you discuss him, and he was looking for his big deal last summer. That was what the conversation was. Like, we understand you can score in the regular season, and that is important, obviously. But a team like the Oilers, we're not just looking to get through the regular season and have a decent time. We need guys that can show up when the playoffs come, and he still hasn't shown that he can do that and bring his level to the next stage.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals now in 50 career NHL playoff games. The series, 1 assist in 5 games. This year's got 18 points in 50 games, well below what his pace is normally in a regular season. He's just over like a half point a game player in the regular season. He has 123 goals in 595 NHL games, but only 3 in the postseason. And, if there's a guy who's due, it would definitely be Roslovic. I actually thought last game was maybe the game he'd been the most dangerous as far as being around the net. I think maybe it helps with Dickinson. I really like the speed between Roslovic, Savoy, and Dickinson. Like, there's lots of reasons to think that line should be able to be effective just because of their speed. And, you mentioned Savoy, and, at times he looks like a guy who's like, I just got to get the puck off my stick. Like he's scared. He's more about making the safe play than just making a play, right? And that's normal. I loved your word predictable, because rarely do I expect rookies to be difference makers in the playoffs. Right? It's just it's unrealistic, and it's unfair to expect them. People were freaking out. You got to play Savoy with McDavid, and I'm kind of like, why? Because you like him because he's young. Like, this isn't about the future. This is about now. And you know what? Young guys across the league, for the most part, can struggle a little bit in their first time in the playoffs. Hell, Connor McDavid struggled his first time in the playoffs. He had 9 points in 16 games. Connor freaking McDavid, right? Like, you'd be looking at that and say, what kind of stats are that? So I'm not shocked. He hasn't played poorly. I see him when he gets the puck on a stick sometimes, and he's rushing to make a play. And I think it's because he just wants to get it out. Now going to that. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, but I'd almost equate like Savoy to the Ducks, right? Like the Ducks this year are coming into the year, like they're like, we just want to be in the playoff picture at the end of the season, like play meaningful games. And now they're at a point where they're at their second elimination game trying to take out Edmonton. Like, everything for them is the cherry on top at this point, right? Like, this is so much house money. And I kind of look at Savoy in that way, right? Like, he had an awesome rookie year. And that's where it was important to play with McDavid and get all those lessons and learn from the best, shift in and shift out. But it gets to playoffs. Yeah, you want to see him take those steps, but big production and coming up with big goals or big plays, like that to me would be a cherry on top for him.
Yeah. Landon Ferraro joins us. So you look at, I thought Edmonton, you know what, they controlled the game. Podkolzin, to me, he was just a tone setter in game 5. He was spectacular. Him and Kapanen, I think, have been their two, and Draisaitl's very close, their best players in the series. But Evan Bouchard in game 5 made 2 plays that are like elite world-class plays. And it's unfortunate that when he has a giveaway, it gets shown and talked about all the time, and people spread. He makes a play like that, and everyone's kind of like, meh. Well, you watch that play on the Podkolzin goal. You come in as a defenseman 1-on-3, and then you create space by backing off, stopping, slowly revert, and then send a dart, right? Like, that creates the whole play. Like, Podkolzin, great shot, don't get me wrong. But the whole play is set up by Bouchard. And then on the power play goal, to have those biggest stones, to walk the blue line like that, you're shaking your head as we're talking, Landon. Like, I think people, it's a good play. Like, it's funny how the reaction of applause to an elite play is barely registered compared to their disdain for a bad play.
I was shaking my head there because, like, honestly, I don't even know if I would have tried that in a summer skate scrimmage. Because I'm like, I'm going to mess it up, and I've got to chase down a breakaway. And I don't want to do that in July, let alone in the playoffs, right? Like you said, the stones to be able to do that. You said it, right? The issue is that when he makes a mistake, it's almost like cartoonish with how big the mistake is. So it draws so much attention, but you're right. Okay, so the Podkolzin goal, you broke it down perfect. Like that, finding that lane and dropping it on a tee on his blade was beautiful enough. And then to give Podkolzin the love there too, like his skill level has gone through the roof from where it came when he got traded to Edmonton. And obviously, like anyone can see that watching him play. But talking about, the Bouchard play at the blue line and Podkolzin's goal there, like honestly, those skill levels it looked so easy and just the natural play in a sense, but Podkolzin to be able, like every NHL player's catching that pass, it hit him square in the blade. But to be able to get it on first touch and then it's off your blade in a second coming from that angle at the top of the blue line all the way down, across body and getting that shot off, like that is such an underrated talent and release. It was honestly, it was incredible to see from him. But yeah, you're right with Bouchard, like those plays, you don't make those without some major mess ups. But there's there's only a few other players that at the blue line under pressure are shoulder checking outside the blue line to see where the guy is. And then to be able to pop his hips and slide it back. Like there's multiple parts of that most D aren't going to be able to do, let alone all of them put together in a pressure elimination game.
Yeah. Like the thing that impressed me about the Podkolzin goals, most D-men, when they cross the blue line there, Landon, they're just dumping the puck in. It's a 1-on-3. They're just going to dump it in. Right? Not only does he stop, but he creates space for himself, so no one's even at him, and that gives him the extra 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then boom, they make the change. Podkolzin comes in, and boom, it's an early goal. If you're the Oilers, and well, I guess if you're Joe Quenneville, we know that Jackson Lacomb's going to go up against the McDavid-Draisaitl combination for sure. But like, do you think like the Ducks, they really have yet to show they can play a defensive game? They're giving up 4 goals. I know there was 3-1, but they're giving up basically 19 goals so far in the series, right? Like Edmonton last game was their game to say, hey, we shut it down. We only allowed 1 goal, no goals, 5-on-5. The Ducks have yet to show it. So if they're going to win, they probably have to be like, we're going to win 4-3.
Yeah, for sure. I think, again, like Anaheim is farther along than they were expecting right now. I don't think Joel Quenneville had a playoff plan at the start of the season, right? Like he was like, we need to make sure this team gets better as the year goes and each individual's improving and all of that. To me, he's not going to focus at this point on, hey, we got to lock it down. He'll definitely say, guys, like, can we think about some of our turnovers, maybe making sure we have a high guy? But I think at this point in where Anaheim is and how they've gotten to this point of the series, like if you're Quenneville, you're letting the lines roll as much as you can, and you're just letting the guys play. You can get to the defensive side next season. I know that sounds crazy because it's playoffs, but you said it as I was coming on, right? Like they're not a contender for the Cup this year. They're a really, really good team that has a really bright future. But right now, just let the kids play and just go. And I think that's where that's their best chance of closing out this series, is playing the way that they have, of carefree a little bit and like honestly having fun and making plays.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, that's how they play, right? I don't think it's going to change. That's how they played all year long. And, some could argue that, the Oilers have been very Jekyll and Hyde and up and down in how they've played defensively. And now they've shown they can do it for a few games, but they've also shown they can do it for 1 or 2 games and then completely fall apart again. So I could see why there'd be some trepidation in Oilers Nation around, what type of team is going to show up tonight. We all know what their focus is. We do know that they have, I think, more ability top to bottom than the Ducks do when they all play well. And I thought McDavid looked in game 5 better than he did in game 4 and 3, like was moving better. And, if he starts to just, get small increments of 2% healthier every game, that's going to be a big boost. And I really think Draisaitl scored 2 goals. McDavid had 2 points, so did Bouchard had 3 actually. But I look at that line tonight and still, like, they've been getting good contributions from other ones, but they've yet to really have their big guys carry them to a win yet. That's probably a good.
Yeah, and I said that in the pregame before last game, that more than anything, like the Oilers need their big guys to be their big guys right now, right? Like there's going to be other games if they get through this series. There's going to be other games that the secondary scoring, like Dickinson in game 1, is going to pop. But right now, with how the team is played, they need someone to grab a hold of the ship and direct it. And they did last game, right? Like you said, it was McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins had a couple as well. Like the guys that have done it forever here were the ones that did it. But you're right, it didn't feel like that total takeover, and we're still waiting to see that a bit. And I think on the McDavid side, like you said, getting a little healthier day by day, but it's also the mind frame of elimination game, right? When, as much as, we've talked about from Anaheim's side of trying to close them out and getting that last win, when you're on the brink and it's a guy like McDavid, it's pretty easy, or not pretty easy, it's a lot easier to, whatever pain you do have, to push it aside even that bit more, because you're like, if we lose tonight, it doesn't matter, I've got months to feel better, right? So you can kind of push yourself that little bit more. And I'm expecting we see, an even faster, more, someone that can jump through his lanes a little bit quicker, like we're always used to seeing with McDavid.
Yeah. Well, Landon, we'll see if the Oilers and the Ducks will be going to Game 7 on Saturday. Quickly, give me your thoughts on Minnesota-Dallas and what we've seen in Dallas's inability to score 5-on-5. They've only got 3 5-on-5 goals through 5 games.
It's amazing watching Dallas over the last number of years, right? Like, such a good team, always a contender. It's different this year that in a sense, it's a Western Conference final in the first round, even though Edmonton and Colorado aren't in it. But, like, that series, it's so tight. I don't think, even though everyone can look at the roster of Minnesota, I still don't think anyone realized what they can do. And further down the lineup, the Folignos, and like, they've got guys that can move and play hard and play at that time. Like, that series has been locked down a lot more than what we've been watching in this series in Edmonton. For Dallas, they need to get some more shots. They need to find ways in. Like, their big guys, like we were talking with Edmonton, like, their big guys are going to have to find a way to score. Robertson is going to need to find a way to put it in. Rantanen, like, all those guys, they need to step up. When there's a stat that's that skewed, it really is the big guys that need to be able to step up and get it moving.
Well, Landon, enjoy the game tonight. Games because we got Dallas. That's going to be a great game to watch. Then Edmonton and Anaheim is a late one. Appreciate your time. We will chat with you again soon. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro. When we return, we're live at On the Rocks, and we'll do a live on location of Thirsty Thursday. It's all set up. I see it right here. The Dave Mann series. We'll get to that and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit HireGood.ca or call and mention for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $399 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Plus, only until Monday, take until 2030 to pay with 0% interest. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. OAC, see in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Vashon Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bash.concrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
For almost half a century, families, farmers, and mechanics across Alberta have trusted Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Why? Because we know cars and we know value. Hi, Lisa here. And whether it's keeping your work truck hauling or getting your teenager's first car back on the road, Ed's has the parts you need at prices you can afford. Reliable, affordable, local. That's Ed's Auto Salvage. With province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton, visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASV Posi Track at Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. It is game day. Oilers in Anaheim to take on the Quackers tonight. Of course, it doesn't look like there'll be any lineup changes for the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid and Dickinson not on the ice for the morning skate, but neither is Troy Terry for the Ducks. Those guys are play only, practice optional at this point of the season. Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And today we're live at On the Rocks. Jasper having 118th, where it's a little quiet now, but it is going to heat up tonight, not only for the game, but also salsa night. So after the game, you could dance tonight. Someone's falling in love. I'm just going to say it right now. It's pretty much a guarantee someone will be falling in love. Might only be for the night, but they'll be falling in love for sure. Now, let's get to Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. 2 locations, of course. Southside on 50th Street, 98th Avenue, and 92nd Avenue, and the original location, St. Albert Trail, and 118th Avenue. The best selection in the city. If you're looking for cocktails, wine, beer, anything non-alcoholic, they got it all at Sherbrooke Liquor. And everything we talk about on Thursday, you can go to their website, sherbrooke.liquor.com, and so you can see all the pictures of all the bottles if you have any questions, so you can follow along there, as well as on our social media platforms. As always, David Owens joins us from Sherbrooke, live at OTR. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. You know, the weather's finally coming out. When I got home from France on Saturday, it was a rude awakening. It had been, 26, walking along the Seine, and then all of a sudden it's -7 at the airport when I got in. So
that's better than going to Maui and then coming back for -30. I can tell you that one. That's a little tough. So now, what are we doing here today?
Okay,
you decided because we're at OTR, we got to do shots. Like, what the hell's going on?
Shots. No, it's actually, believe it or not, it's Cinco de Mayo coming up.
Oh, that's true.
Right. Yeah, so we got Cinco de Mayo coming up next week, and I thought, okay,
next Tuesday.
And we also got an important game tonight, so we're gonna do a variation of margaritas.
Okay.
Essentially, and we're gonna throw a plum in there, and we're gonna show you how to make essentially 3 different drinks. With 1 bottle of tequila, or switch it up and get 3 different drinks if you use mezcal with it.
All
right.
right.
We'll compare some tequila, we'll compare the mezcal, and then we'll go through and do the cocktails.
All right.
And if you, great anytime, of course, use cocktails, but, if the Oilers win tonight, you celebrate with a margarita.
Okay.
If they lose tonight, you can drown your sorrows with a margarita. And
win either way.
Not win-win, and next week, you just get to party it up on Cinco de Mayo. So,
wow, there you go. All right, What are we doing first?
Okay, so the first one here is some tequila.
Oh, geez.
So I just want to give you that
kind of this
smell. So this isn't
Jose Cuervo, is it?
No. No, this is Lopez, and this is a fantastic brand. This is actually a really unique brand.
Okay.
These are
100% agave azul.
100% agave. This Blanco, this family, this is a family-owned business.
Yeah.
And they're one of the very few, if not only, families that actually do everything from seed to your glass right now, they have touched it all the way through it.
Okay.
So they plant it, they grow it, they wait for it to mature. It's about 6 years. And then they do the whole process, bottle it. So most tequila producers are actually buying their agave from a variety of other places.
All right.
So this is pretty cool, and really great price point to it. And you'll find this is a Highland tequila, so it's very it's crisp, it's clean. Let's give it a go. The smell is lovely. Right off the bat, super fresh.
Livingston is jealous. He'd love this stuff. He loves tequila.
Oh, that's
pretty good. Like
tequila.
It is actually, for straight tequila, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Because tequila is still, I don't know if it's a psychological thing just from when we were young. And
it's 100% a psychological thing.
Some
It'll
of them,
take a while to get over it.
They're like this one, I could actually sip on this and be fine. Like obviously, maybe I don't even know if this young. Do they even sell it? But Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, they still sell it.
But anybody out there of a certain vintage would know. Remember when you're like, hey, why don't you drink the worm out of the tequila? And you're just like, oh my God, just the worst. So I think of it now. And I was a guy who liked shots, so I would still do it. But I'd always like to mix tequila with something else. But this is really tasty straight. So you put this on the rocks, it'd probably be good.
Yeah, exactly. Put on the rocks, and blancos are typically what you do. So the next one here's a mezcal. So here's the thing.
We're doing mezcal straight here.
Yeah. Now hold on.
Okay.
Before you get all worried.
All right.
So here's the deal. Mezcal and tequila are exactly the same thing.
What?
They are. They're exactly the same thing. They're all from the same family. Think of tequila as the most famous, member of the family.
All right.
And mezcal is the less famous. So tequila has to be made with 100% blue agave. Mezcal will be made with several other different types of agave. Mezcal is also the way it's
so
made
basically so you're saying tequila is like the Niedermeyers and mezcal is Strudwick?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Just for any of our listeners, now you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it is. It's exactly the same thing. However, mezcal it's usually aged a little bit longer, and you get way more of a smoky, earthy, even the way they roast the hearts and so on. So
it's definitely smokier.
So you want to and you give that. And this is a Solmano.
Oh my God, that's actually really good.
All right.
Wow. I was ready to be like,
So,
that's like there's no aftertaste or anything.
No, it's super clean.
Like you smell the smoke a bit, but that's about it.
And mezcal is a really great replacement for whiskey if you wanted to use something else.
Okay.
Right. So, and mezcal will change your tequila beverages up. I mean, you go from clean and bright and fresh to more smoky and so forth.
Okay.
And let's not, and you can also try all these with, if you like an Añejo tequila better than a Blanco, although really good Blanco.
Mm-hmm.
It means that their Añejo will also be excellent.
All right.
Okay. So there you go. So
you're saying mezcal for any of our drinkers out there, like, I just want to try something. Like if you could do a mezcal old fashioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mezcal old fashioned is fantastic. So do it with mezcal old fashioned.
All right.
Instead of the sugar cube or simple syrup, get some agave syrup. We sell it at the store, and you can also buy it in most grocery stores and things like that.
Okay.
But it's a fantastic beverage.
Okay.
So the first thing we have here is just your classic margarita. So this is it's tequila. We use a triple sec.
I love tequila
margaritas. And we use fresh lime. Fresh lime is the key, most important part of this whole thing. And people that say they don't like margaritas, well, they haven't tried a real one and a good one before. So this is
that is very tasty. The mixture. What's your mixture in there of like what?
Yeah. So this is about it's 2 ounces tequila.
Yeah.
And we use 1 ounce of fresh lime juice.
1 ounce of fresh.
1 ounce of fresh lime juice, and about 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec.
All right.
Now you can use triple sec. You can use Cointreau. Really, any orange liqueur.
And then you salt, like we have the small ones, but usually you want to salt the rim.
Salt the rim.
Yeah.
And what I did actually, I just put a little bit of salt. That's a little sprinkle, a pinch of salt on the top of it.
Okay.
To give us a bit of that. And, I like to do that in my drink before that anyways, with it. It's just that little pinch of salt on top.
So you put the salt directly in your margarita.
Yeah, just a little.
There you go.
A little pinch
boys and girls, little tip for you. You want to try it tonight?
Yeah. So
any type of salt, do you care?
Just a good sea salt's great.
Okay.
Yep.
And now we're doing a mezcal margarita?
No, the next one here, we're sticking with margaritas at the moment, but now we're moving to a Tommy's margarita. So a classic margarita is what we just went through, and a Tommy's margarita. So this was created in the late 80s by Julio Bermejo. at Tommy's Mexican restaurant in San Francisco. And what he does with this is instead of the triple sec in there, he just uses agave syrup. So this is tequila, lime juice, and agave syrup.
So it's going to be a little sweeter, I'm guessing.
And so it's going to be a little bit sweeter. You're going to find more body to it. It's a little bit thicker.
Oh, my God. That would be way too dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Like, that is so like flavorful and sweet, but you'd be like, there's not even any alcohol in here.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
That's the margarita that bartenders are drinking after they've, closed up the shop
Okay.
and making yards.
wow. So the agave is definitely, if you find the triple sec's a little bit too much for you, which I don't think it is, but if you do, then you just switch it for the agave.
Switch it to the
syrup.
agave.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. And fresh lime juice, fresh squeezed lime juice is absolutely the way to go with this. It makes such a difference.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that, man. Lime juice, even if you put it on certain, like, have a little taco, I like to mix squeeze a lime on there. I find it gives it away.
And so
the
it's just-
tartness is perfect mix.
Yeah. So you just think, and with this one, with the agave syrup, instead of 3/4 of an ounce of the triple sec, put in just a half an ounce of the agave syrup.
All right. Okay.
And then shake it over ice, and you're good to go.
And remember, for anybody listening, you can go to Sherbrooke Liquor's website. All these recipes for everything we talk about today will be right there.
You betcha. And, a little sprinkle of salt and maybe a little bit of tagine on there as well, right? That's
To what?
Tagine. Tagine. This is fantastic stuff right here.
What is this?
So this is a really great lime
Tagine.
spice. Yeah.
It's a lime seasoning
chili.
spice. You sell this at Sherbrooke?
We're
no?
out of stock right now. We should have some in the next, probably tomorrow for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
But yeah, absolutely.
So for the weekend, if people want to
For the
get ready
weekend.
for Game 7.
You betcha.
Okay.
Beauty. So
what's the next? Now
we're moving on to a mezcal margarita. So
All
this
right.
is exactly the same recipe as the first one, but we're putting mezcal in there. And so, I've also put a little bit of salt and tagine on it.
All right.
On this one, and you can just smell the difference between the first one,
yeah,
and this one here. So you go from that bright, fresh, clean,
yeah,
to a little bit earthier, smokier. Man, that's good.
It's funny going from the you definitely right away. What you notice is the smoky taste to it for sure. Mezcal definitely has that smoke to it, and it's. If I go back to the original one, tequila.
Yep.
It's funny. I find the tequila one's actually a little bit more tart. I don't know if the mezcal takes out some of the. Not that it's overly tart, but that's the only difference I've noticed. And obviously the smoke smell. But
you get that brightness of the agave in just the regular tequila.
I could see why the mezcal, when you said it was a really good substitute for whiskey, for a lot of whiskey drinks, it makes perfect sense now that you do that.
Once you taste it and mix up in the cocktail. So if you want to bring that sweetness down or that sharpness of tequila, mezcal is such the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last
one?
one?
The last but not least, if you don't want to be shaking stuff and you want to make something super, super easy, this is the Paloma. So margaritas are, the most popular in North America, but Palomas are what most Mexicans drink, actually. And Palomas are super, super simple to make.
That's good.
It is tequila, and you pour over some. I used some Fever Tree. You can also use Doritos, but just some grapefruit soda.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
And
the soda really brings out a little pop to it. I actually like that better.
And then just a little squeeze of lime.
That one actually might be my favorite.
And
but I really like gin soda and gin tonic, so maybe that's why I'm.
Yeah.
It's like a little. It's not as flat.
No.
Right.
No, exactly. So that little bit, and that Fever Tree soda, we've got that in stock at both stores.
That's grapefruit.
That's the grapefruit. Yeah. It's totally the way to go. And like I said, this is super quick and simple and easy to make. And just
so you like the grapefruit one with the tequila over like a cucumber or anything?
That would also be delicious. Don't get
Okay.
me wrong, but this grapefruit one is the proper Paloma.
Oh, okay, for a Paloma, right?
For a Paloma,
Okay.
it's all about this.
So Paloma comes with what is it? It's grapefruit.
It's just a grapefruit soda and tequila.
Oh, that's it.
And a little squeeze of lime, put a lime garnish on.
Basically, Gregor proof, idiot proof. Even I could
Absolute
make that one.
idiot proof.
There you
Strudwick could
go.
make this. Right?
I love that you've got on board in the Struts shirt. And it's just so quick and easy.
So,
just boom,
boom.
right in there. Strutty would laugh because if he's not chirping, he's not having fun. So
Exactly.
that would be great. So there we go. We got
There
a lot
you
of
go.
options for Game 6 or Game 7. If you feel like I would say, if you're a whiskey drinker, definitely try it with mezcal. Now, is there a type of mezcal that you recommend?
You know, this particular one here is a really mild one, so it's not overly smoky. But
So that'd probably be the best one to start.
This is a great one to start with, the
Okay.
Filmano one, yeah. You know, come to the store. We've got great tequila. I mean, these are two great examples we have in the store, but we have so many tequilas, mezcals, and we've got a great selection at both locations.
Yeah.
Come in, check out, see what we have, and we can find something for you and your liking. Absolutely.
Well, that's good. Dave, what's your prediction on the game tonight?
Oh man, well, you know, it was last year I started the playoffs in Europe. And
Yes.
this year I started the playoffs in Europe, and they did not start great with the Kings last year.
No, they didn't.
But they made their way back, and so you know I'm holding out some hope that you know maybe we're going to have a really solid Game 6 tonight. And
Push it to Game 7.
Push to Game 7 because rumor has it I might have some tickets coming my way. Game 7. So
a Saturday night Game 7 in Edmonton.
Yikes!
The opportunities for
Yikes.
people are endless.
They are
for that.
endless.
It would be loads and loads, and it might even be an earlier start potentially because it might be the only game. Depending on if Minnesota wins tonight and Edmonton wins, then Edmonton's the only game on Saturday, and there is no chance they're going to wait till 8 o'clock. I think to start that game to TV. I think it would start at 6. So. I'm just speculating, but I'm maybe even 7, but I just don't think it would be that late of a start. We'll see. Well, Dave, thanks for this. Have yourself an awesome day. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, thanks, man.
There you go. That's Dave Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. Once again, go to SherbrookeLiquor.com if you want to see the specifics on all the recipes that we talked about today. If you want to try it, and I will say he might have won me over a little bit of the mezcal. Again, that's probably got some bad memories from youth on mezcal, but obviously I wouldn't be doing shots of it, but in a drink, not bad at all. Let's get to the con man now, and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, they focus on your vehicle so you can focus on enjoying the drive worry-free. Book your appointment right now, FountainTire.com. Get those summer tires back on, boys and girls. You can start cruising, FountainTire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day as the Oilers once again facing elimination tonight down in Anaheim. Showing 3 games to 2, taking on the Ducks. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson at 6. One other game tonight, Wild and Stars from Minnesota. Puck drop 5:30. Minnesota leads that series 3 games to 2. Hockey Canada announced that Misha Donskoy will serve as a Canadian national men's and junior coach while rebuilding the coaching staff for both teams. Donskoy won a Stanley Cup with Vegas and the director of player for hockey operations in the association. 3 games tonight. You got the Knicks and Hawks from Atlanta at 5. At 6, the Sixers trying to stay alive against the Celtics, and at 7:30, Nuggets and Timberwolves. Minnesota currently leading 3 games to 2. Major League Baseball, Jays the late one, taking on the Twins just after 5:40. Right now, Royals trailed the Athletics 5-2, and the Astros crushing the Orioles 10-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Earlier today, Giants fell to the Phillies 3-2 in game 1 of their doubleheader. Cards over the Pirates 10-5. Rockies lose to the Reds 6-4, and it was the Brewers all over the Diamondbacks by a score of 13-1. PWHL playoffs get going tonight. Boston hosting Ottawa. Game 1, puck drop at 5. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we're going to talk some Dallas Stars with Owen Newkirk, and here are the stat of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a Park View rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
An Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical Team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oh, buddy, that is a great song, man. I love that genre of music. Welcome back. It is the Thursday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. The final day of April. Tomorrow is May, and Oilers are hoping to be playing into May again. And they will need a win tonight against the Anaheim Ducks to accomplish that. And then game 7 would be in Edmonton. We got a lot of text people wondering about the start time. I can't tell you the start time because it's going to depend on what happens in Minnesota, Dallas. Obviously, it depends on the Oilers. They need a win first and foremost. But if they win and Dallas wins, then there'll be 2 game 7s. And sadly, I could see it just being a 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain early game between Minnesota and Dallas, and then the usual 8 o'clock Saturday night Edmonton game. But if it's only one game, let's say Minnesota wins tonight at home and the Oilers win on the road, well, now we got a different conversation. I can't see Sportsnet saying, hey, let's just play one game where it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. Like, you're losing your whole audience. Well, not your whole audience, but a lot of your audience, of course. So that would make no sense. So I think there would be a chance for an earlier start if Edmonton is the only game. And maybe, like, I don't know. I know the Americans, they love their matinee games. I don't know if they'd force it to a matinee game on a game 7. Can't remember. I'm sure there's been one in the past. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. So we'll see. But Oilers got to win first before anything else matters on that front. We got Owen Newkirk's going to join us a little bit later on. We're going to hear from Chris Knobloch coming up. We got Stat of the Day, Zach Kavanaugh from Anaheim Spec and DVD. So lots and lots to get to. Your thoughts as well. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Or you can call us as well. Text or call us either way. Hey, Greg's, try that Paloma Use Fresca Oh, instead of soda. Ooh, Fresca. I remember when I thought like Fresca was like a very classy pop. Oh, when you're a kid, it's so funny things you think about. Later, I was just, oh, Fresca, it's really classy. Like, you know what? We're drinking like Orange Crush with the classy kids. We're drinking Fresca. I never really liked it, to be honest, but, I was more of a Sprite guy. We'll see. Hey, Gregor, there's a concert Saturday night at Rogers. No, there isn't. Only if the Oilers lose. If the Oilers win, there's no concert Saturday night. I could tell you that 100%. They'll have to reschedule. It'll suck for the concert goers, but Game 7 is scheduled for Saturday. It will be in Edmonton on Saturday, guaranteed. So they would likely be moving the concert, which has happened before. Guys, Fresca with a slice of vignette cake. Holy cow, the Fresca combinations. I can tell you things I thought I never would have discussed on the show today is Fresca and now Fresca cake combinations. Love it. Love it. So nice. Hey, guys, Mayan Coffee has mezcal in it. It's a morning treat. Start your morning right from Craig in Cancun. All right. But I don't drink coffee, so I will I'll take your word for it. Maybe Connor Halley, Declan Kruger. I think you guys are coffee drinkers, are you not, Cons?
We definitely are, yeah.
Like how many cups a day are you guys?
I would put myself at 1 to 2. Declan's giving me 2. Yeah, 1 to 2.
1 to 2.
Yeah,
All right.
but like,
Okay, so not many. You're not crazy.
no. I mean, like, there's real coffee drinkers. Declan might be in that category. I would not put myself in that category. Like, I don't care where I get it from. As long as there's a little sugar, some cream in there, I'm happy. But,
okay.
like the purists just drink it black.
Oh, yeah, sure, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't classify as the purist then. No, it's not happening for me. So can't do it. At this stage of my life, there's really no point in trying. I don't see. I've gone this long without it. Not going to start. Right? It'd be like, I try. Now I know one's legal, but I'd be like, I think I'm just going to start doing drugs at a certain age. Like I'm just kind of like, I think at a certain, you reach a certain stage, and then I'm like, all right, I'm out. Right? Like probably not going to be a swinger at this stage of my life. I think that's kind of past my time. Right? Not going to be a professional athlete. Well past my time. Right? So I guess unless you want it to be on the start competing for the senior running, that's really about it. Right? Like I can run. I don't know if I could run at the senior level, but it's probably the only thing I could train for. I don't think I could. Well, I know, not I think. I know I couldn't join the senior tour in golf. So really, like you see that guy who was like the fastest 80-year-old man ever. Like, that never too late to strive for that. But lots of other things. I think you reach a certain stage of your life where you're like, I don't think I'd try that. Just not going to happen. Like me sleeping over at a buddy's house on their couch. I'm past that stage of my life. There was this time in my life, Cons, that was amazing. Never thought twice about it. Now, no chance. Like there'd be no chance that I would suddenly be like, I think I'm going to crash on your couch tonight. I got Uber options. I have enough money that I could pay for an Uber to get home. That's the stage of my life I'm at. Right? Like there's just certain things I think you move on from. Anything in your life where you feel like, it's in the rearview mirror, it's not happening again?
Yeah. I mean, probably getting drunk enough where I have to rely on sleeping on someone's couch. I think that part I've probably moved on from for sure. But that being said, I do love a couch sleep. Like every once in a while,
Well, your own couch.
Yeah,
sure.
your own couch. I think that's a top-notch
But no
thing.
one else has slept on your couch other than you now, have they?
It's correct. Yes.
Yeah, see, it's different time.
Actually, though, basement couch. One of my buddies did sleep there once.
On your basement couch?
On our basement couch, yeah. Only person to sleep on it yet, so it's kind of his.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I think I would agree with you. Like I'm past that at this point, especially with all the ride-sharing options. There's no need. You can get home.
Yeah, it's like I'm past the stage of helping anybody move, other than maybe when my son moves out for the first time. That would be it. Right? Like when you're young, you're helping your friends, hey, I got to move. Now, usually when you're moving, you're young in your 20s, like you're moving a table, a few chairs, a lamp, right? Alarm, like your clothes. There's not a ton. But now, like, no chance. Like I couldn't, if one of my friends asked me to move, I'd be just like politely, no chance. Like I remember moving buddies. And I still remember the last time I helped a friend move. We went to their house. They weren't ready. So that was strike one. Strike two, his wife left during the move. Shockingly, they didn't stay married. Because they're right there. Like, if you want to talk red flags in a relationship, you invite your friends to move and she just leaves. And like, their stuff wasn't even packed up. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Am I living in bizarro world? I'll still never remember that. I never forget. It was crazy. So that was the last time I helped someone move. I was like late 20s, I think. You know, now if it's family, I think with family, it's kind of a lifelong commitment, unfortunately. But overall, I do think like no chance I would ever ask any of my friends to help me move. If I had to move again, I'm getting a moving vehicle, right? Not born, I'm not born Karras' truck, right? Like, there's just certain things that you move on from. And now that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because at that earlier stage of my life, it was fantastic. Because usually when you move your buddies, you knew that at the end of the move, you got free beer and pizza, right? Like, that was just, and now you're like, now we're going to have a fun night, right? That's why you helped the move, because it was basically a way to say, okay, we're going to party after. We just have to move you first, right? I think everybody can relate to that. It's a great thing. Like, you hang out, do whatever. Do like a Saturday noon to 4, like max. Back then for the bachelors, there's no way it should take longer than 4. Like, if you've got that much stuff in your 20s, good for you. But I'm questioning your priorities, because you should have been wasting your money on experiences, not on an extra couch. So that's how I would always view it. Less is more at the younger age, because then you get an experience. Like, it's like, you know what? And another thing, Cons, like, I'm past, I would never have a leather couch again in my life. I'm not owning a leather coach. But when I was young and single, man, the leather coach, you go to the Brick, the black leather coach, that was a go-to. That was a home run. All your buddies had one. It's easy to clean. It's way better. But now, no chance.
I've never owned a leather coach, actually, myself.
You missed out.
I didn't. It's hot. Kind of stick to it.
Yeah, see, I never had that problem.
No.
Like, I wasn't living. I never lived on. I never lived in an apartment complex, so I was never on like the 5th, 6th, 8th floor, or whatever. Have no AC. I never had AC until my first house when I was married. So it's not like I was living in the. I wasn't the Jeffersons, right? Moving on up, I had no AC for the longest time. It's fine, but I never felt the black couch was that hot, and maybe because our living room that it was in was never with sun baking on it. So, but I never found the black leather couch. Now, I felt if you tried to sit in it with no shirt on, then you could stick to it in the summertime, sure. But it was never that hot.
So why the change?
Well, first of all, the look was unreal. Oh, why the change?
But why now? Like,
well, because now I don't want, like, the other thing, I found the leather couches were like, they were so comfortable, like, to just sleep on, right? Now my couch downstairs, I need a bigger couch, because the leather couch was just straight, one line.
Yeah.
I like the L couch, right? Because I like to get in the corner. You kind of lay down. You got the pillows propped up. You're watching. It's unbelievable. And it's the greatest place to nap on a Saturday. I get down there. Like, I'll never fall asleep at night watching sports. You put me on a Saturday afternoon in the my L spot on the couch. And my son and wife, they know that's kind of my spot. Now, I'll offer it up sometimes because I feel it's the best place in the couch. But I'm like, no, that's my spot. And it's a Saturday afternoon. If I need a quick little cat nap, I don't go to bed. I just go downstairs to the L coach and I'm out. It's unreal. So the black leather was never overly comfortable to sit up on. It was more so, you're laying down, full out. That's where it was good. And then I actually had a black one, but then I graduated, Cons, and I had my buddy Jamie Kennedy used to run a furniture store. And I went in, and I got this huge brown leather couch, like massive. Because the black one at the Brick, it's kind of a little bit of a smaller back. This thing was huge, even bigger, almost like pillows on the. It was the most comfortable couch, but it was almost like kind of like a half moon, but obviously not that curvy. But it was curved just a little bit, and I'm telling you, Cons, to this day, I remember when I sold that couch. Like I sold it to I listed it online. It's probably one of the few things kind of list things online. My wife, she had her place and I had my place, and we both moved into our house. And so she had a couch that, honest to God, I still laugh at, was the most uncomfortable couch in the history of couches. I might as well have been sitting on a cement block. And I'm like, what the hell do you have? Oh, but it looks good. Typical. There's the difference between a guy and a girl. No guy is ever buying a couch that no one sits on just to look good in a room when they live by themselves. No chance. Right? Like, Zero chance guy. Well, I shouldn't say no guy. It's like a 1% chance of guys. So it's just, yeah, this coach, did it look good? Sure. It was like, I remember sitting on it once, like 5 minutes in, I'm like, God, you know, remember the Seinfeld episode? And you're sliding, I can't get comfortable. I can't do it. And that's what that coach was. So when we listed it, she's like, oh, my coach going to go way quicker. My coach sold in like 3 hours. Oh, because I'm like, yeah. And she was like, oh, yeah, well, look at him. I'm like, yeah. Because the guys who came and bought it, these younger, they were just like, this thing is unreal. And I'm like, oh, yeah, boys. It was great. And I sold it for $1,000. And it was like, yeah, and it was a sick coach. That, God, I wish that. But I guarantee those guys probably still have that coach 12 years later because they were young. They're probably like 19 or 20, living in a place together. Man, I'm telling you, that coach was unbelievable. Like when you think of coaches, it's weird things I think about. It's like one of the material possessions of my life that I'm like, if I could find that coach again, I would buy it. So I say I'm past leather coaches, except that one. If I could find that exact coach, Cons, I'd buy it again.
Yeah, I mean, I had that coach. It was fabric, though, and looked awful. Color wasn't great. It was worn, but you sat into it and you just sunk. You spent 4 or 5 hours watching sports right there. Yeah. It was the best. Great for a couch nap. It was a sectional as well, so you want to lay down, hunker in for a movie or a nap. It was perfect. Same sort of thing. When I sold it, it was gone in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Because the guys know. Like
they know.
That's the
they
one.
know quality.
Yeah.
Guys know quality coaches. Now, think about tonight. So where you're watching the game, Oilers and Ducks, pivotal game 6, right? Lots of you are getting together with your buddies. It's a Thursday night, right? You're like, hey, this is going to be awesome. How many people like to go to Tim's house because Tim's got the best coaches, right? Like, well, and TV. Like, it's a good combination. You need a good TV, but the guy who's got the most comfortable coach, usually that's where people want to gravitate towards watch a sporting event because you know you're locked in for like it's a 3-hour shift on the coach. Now you're up and down to go to the washroom, get some chips, maybe when you're cheering, but you want that coach that's comfortable, even though most of you, when you're watching, you're not leaning back. You're sitting up, right? Like I am right now. I'm getting super close because you're leaning in, you're focused. But like the comfortable coach, Con, it's like a prerequisite. It's a must-have for the host party when it gets together for games. You have to have it because if you don't, if Bob invites you over and all of a sudden, yeah, well, Bob's inviting us again, but his coaches suck. You're not going to go, right? Yeah, because even if they've got good choices in food and beverage, if the coach is bad, your comfort level of watching, I would think that rates on the fact. Like, what do you rank? What when we're talking game 6 tonight, Oilers Ducks, no lineup changes, by the way, for the Edmonton Oilers, if you're just joining us. Like, what is your, if all of a sudden your buddies is calling, hey, Thomas, do you want to come over and watch a game tonight? Like, what is your things where you're like, okay, I got 2 options here. Like, do you have an order of what's the most important thing?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it is also like how the setup is too, right? So like if you're on a chair and you're like a 90-degree angle to the TV, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, everyone needs to be set up and have a good angle of it.
Good sight lines.
But for sure, it has to be where you're sitting. Proximity to a bathroom is always nice. If you can, quick TV timeout, someone's got to go. That's a benefit as well. But the couch is a huge role. You got to be comfortable. If you're sitting in, and say like they're bringing like chairs from the kitchen. No, I'm not sitting at the dinner table chairs for 2.5 hours watching a hockey game. Like I want to sit down, get comfy. So I would be with you. Like that does matter.
Oh God, it matters for sure. Right. And then who is the host? Are they a yeller? Like I don't love the screamer. I'd like the yells at every play. That's just kind of annoying. What are you doing? Every time I'm like, oh, chill out, Bob. Like Bob can, he's got Bob skates on for God's sakes. Yet he's yelling at the TV like he's Wayne freaking Gretzky. I find that a tad annoying, right? Or the person who's there but not watching the game and talking during the game. That's Sally, Fred, that's a faux pas. Beat it. Like, no, you can't have a watch party and has the talker, PP just texts in, yeah, how about the talker just wants to have a conversation about life in general? Can't watch with that guy. It's so true. So true, right? It's massive. Hey, guys, comfy couch, beer on tap, and a projector. Can't be beat, MG. Oh, the projector. I like that look. So, hey, guys, I gave my daughter a 10-year-old black leather couch, and I only paid $600 for it. She used it for 2 years and then sold it for $5. Well, yeah, exactly. But those things, they age. They're unreal. If you keep good care of it, That's great resale value. Great resale value. So I like it. Hey, Gregor, you don't help your friends move anymore? It's a bro code. Do you drive your friends to the airport? I'm sorry. Drive my friends to the airport. What am I, 10? No. Now, I would, if somebody asked, depending, but where are they living? Right? Like, what are we talking here? Is this an hour and a half round trip for me? Get an Uber. I think it's a different time. Different. But I don't think I've ever asked. Trying to think of my life. Have I ever asked anybody to take me to the airport? Like that I wasn't dating? No. Not that I can think of, or married to. No. Not at all. So, but at a young age, like I remember picking up people at the airport. I've done that. I was a good guy, picked you up at the airport. Would I do it now? My first question would be like, why can't you pick up? Like, why can't you take yourself? That would be I think it's a valid question. You know, you're struggling for money? Okay, I need to know the answer. All right. But if you just flew somewhere, you should be able to pay the $50 or $60 to get a cab or an Uber home. That would be my philosophy. So, no, I think you graduate from certain things. Now, when you're 20, every penny counts. So, yeah, maybe you're picking up your buddy because then there's an IOU. And when you go to the airport the next time, your buddy's taking you. That's fair. When we return, let's get to Anaheim. What are some must-haves for the Ducks tonight? We'll get there. Also, the other game that might be a Game 7. The Minnesota Wild on the verge of their first playoff win series, that is, in over a decade. Could it happen tonight? And how have they been able to basically shut down the Stars at 5-on-5? We'll discuss it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Wilhockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all sevens. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
Okay. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit Golf Cart.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3:30 back live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street, your place to watch the game tonight. Of course, 69-cent wings during the game, $5.75. Molson's, of course, Sea Change Wolf is their featured beer, only 6 bones. So you get some great deals. Get down here to watch the game. Oilers and the Ducks, and starting a little bit before the Ducks and the Oilers, of course, will be the Stars and the Wild as we get to Around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And hey, deals are sent right to your door. Be sure to check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value, but it's only available until Monday at McDonald's. And tonight, the Dallas Stars trying to stave off elimination on the road in Minnesota. The Wild looking to win their first playoff series in over a decade. Owen Newkirk from DLLS in Dallas joins us. And Owen, first of all, when was the last time you helped someone move who wasn't a family member?
Oh, geez, Jason, that goes back a bit because, I'm not as young as I used to be. There was a time where the promise of some free beer and a couple slices of pizza were sufficient.
Yes.
And honestly, in my early days in the minors of professional hockey, when I moved, I had a couple different AHL stops before I got to Dallas. And when I had to move, it was the U-Haul, the self-move, and you call everybody friends, family, relatives. And thankfully, when I got hired by the Dallas Stars, because we had moved from upstate New York, where my wife's family's from, we knew a lot of people. I'm from Maine, so, that region, a lot of support. Texas, not so much. So I'm down with the Texas Stars in the AHL and living in the suburbs of Austin where the AHL Stars are. And the Dallas Stars helped me with my move. It was the first time using professional movers, and it was a lifesaver, especially with, at the time, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh, God.
I cannot tell you. And again, this was 2014, so this is 12 years ago. Boy, the time flies. I cannot stress how nice movers that professionally come in and pack and then carry your stuff and put it in a truck and drive it and then put it in your new house. Oh, it was the least stressful move of, I think I've moved 6 or 7 times, but for different professional, AHL or started in the United Hockey League, which was AA hockey. that was the best move by far because somebody else did most of the work.
Oh God, yeah, 100%. The reason, hey, you reach a certain stage in your life where it's like, I might move my kids, but that's about it this stage, and even then, I'm only helping them. So, we'll see. Why can the Dallas Stars not move the offense at 5-on-5? It's stunning, their lack of goal production in this series, 5-on-5 so far.
It is, and it's been the main storyline for Dallas because their power play's been lethal, as it was all of the year, second ranked in the league regular season, and they've continued that in the playoffs. I don't know if you saw this stat the other day, but Dallas is shooting a abysmal 2.6% at 5-on-5 in the playoffs. It's the worst in the league. I believe the top end is around 15 or 16% of the playoff teams this year. Minnesota is about 9.5%. If Dallas could just shoot 5% at 5-on-5, the series could be the 3-2, maybe Stars. Or look, these are two really good teams. I think you have to give Minnesota a lot of credit because they've defended very, very tightly with all 5 players. I think they've had a real commitment that way. The Stars have done well all season doing the same things, but I think Minnesota has been a little bit better. Again, this isn't leaps and bounds, right? They've been better, but it's not by some gargantuan spread here. I just think that they've been a little bit better about getting to the net, making life harder on Jake Ottinger. Yes, Reval said it looks fantastic so far, but I don't know if he's been made that uncomfortable. And that, credit to the forwards, defensemen, whoever for the Wild that have been able to be a little bit more direct. The Stars are a possession team. They like to keep the puck. They don't just shoot. They're not the Carolina Hurricanes. They're not shooting from every possible angle and then retrieving and chasing. And all due credit to the Hurricanes. They make that system work really well for them. The Stars are much more selective. They tend to like to look for higher quality chances, not quality over quantity. And sometimes that can frustrate people because they'll say, oh, well, you're not shooting enough. The shot volumes are low. They've never really been a big shot volume team this season. But with what Minnesota's been able to limit and take away, they may have to do a little bit more of that because some of the other stuff just hasn't been there.
So if you look at the Stars, and I'm sure they've talked about it, Glenn Gultson, what do they feel needs to change? Like, how can they penetrate both not Jake Ottinger, but both the goaltending, but also the defense of Minnesota to get more quality looks and ultimately a few more goals 5-on-5?
If you talk to the players and coaches alike, they've all said that they feel like they're generating enough. They just have to finish. As I said before, the shooting percentage at 5-on-5 is abysmal, right? So how when you go through a season and you have the fluctuations in form, and sometimes you don't play that well, but you win because you don't get a ton of chances, but the ones that you do have just go in, and you seem to have that luck. And then there's other times in the season you go, yeah, and you hear coaches say this all the time. Boy, we play like that a lot, but you lost the game. But if we do that all the time, we're going to win a lot more games than we lose. It's a cliche, but it happens all the time. Problem is, in a 7-game series, you don't have time to ride out the ups and downs of pucks going in or not. So I hate to say that they have to be a little bit more route one direct, but that may be, and it's not their normal character. They do have players that can do it, but all the offense so far has come from their top 5 scorers, right? They need maybe 5-on-5 from them. I don't think Wyatt Johnston, other than a couple of power plays, and he had a 5-on-5 one go in where he took a shot from, center field that went off the end boards and bounced in. That was a little lucky against Volstead in game 2. Maybe they need that. Or maybe it's somebody down the ranks that just has to be that guy that night that has the moment, that comes up with something. Michael McCarron for the Wild scored that in game 5. Third period, it's a 2-1 hockey game. Not a lot was happening. I think Minnesota was pretty comfortable with that. And all of a sudden, there's a mistake. McCarron gets in behind the defense, goes to the net. Looks like Ottinger has it sealed, and then he goes for a poke check. And as he does, he just raises his left knee a fraction, pulling the pad off the ice, and the puck goes right in that spot. And McCarron ends up scoring the eventual game-winning goal because of it. So maybe that's what they need, is just have one of those guys put his nose to the grindstone and come up with that one play that you talk about 10 years from now.
Have matchups been a big factor in the series in your eyes?
Yes and no. I think that both teams have ideas of who they want out against the top line. right? The interesting thing for the Stars is that Mikko Rantanen, I just don't feel he's healthy. He suffered a knee injury during the Olympics against Canada, and he didn't play in the bronze medal game for Finland. Missed some time. He came back. He hasn't quite looked himself. Now, he's still piling up points on the power play, but for him as a elite playmaker and distributor, he's a very self-admittedly pass-first guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to move that much, right? He can kind of stand around and ping it, and the Stars' puck movement on the power play is elite. But in the flow of the game 5-on-5, we haven't quite seen that bull moose mentality that he's known for, where he just turns into the unguardable power forward. And it looks both leaning on players to try to turn the corner and drive to that, and also just leaning on the lower body to take a shot. Just doesn't look like he has enough strength. Now, that's just my opinion watching it. I don't know anything specifically about it, but I have a feeling that he either is going to need some sort of procedure in the offseason to get right, or he's just going to need time to rest and rehab before he's really up to – it just doesn't look like the Mikko Rantanen we saw, like, in Colorado in Game 7 when he went nuts, or, then had a hat trick in the next game against the Winnipeg Jets in the first round of that series. It just something doesn't look quite right with him.
Well, and you know what? At the playoff time, injuries can be brutal. That can be the difference between two close teams of who wins and who loses.
Absolutely.
And who moves on and who doesn't. And, it's interesting. I'm looking at the Stars kind of like, on ice. They're not getting outshot, overly poorly. Now, I do know there's a change. Tyler Myers comes out of the lineup. And what do you make about the change on the blue line?
Well, he had a couple of tough games. I think he's gotten a bit of a bad rap because I know he didn't have a good Game 5, but some of the things you see on hold your breath here, Jason. Some of the things you might see on social media are possibly overinflated. I know that's hard to believe, but
no.
I know I know it's really hard to wrap your head around. I get it, but he, to be fair, he wasn't great. Now, he made a turnover that led to the first goal in Game 5 that wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. He rimmed a puck around, and Ryan Hartman read it, made a good play, and then the defense didn't cover well in front of the net on the secondary attempt that ended up being the Zuccarello goal. There's more to it than just, he made a turnover from behind his net. However, when he first got to Dallas from the trade with the Vancouver Canucks, Tyler Myers looked great, and I was really excited because, one, he was happy to be there. He's a Texas native, born in Houston. That storyline's been big. He'd never played, in his home state, having moved to Calgary when he was 10 years old. And he was really excited to play some meaningful hockey because, as you see late in his career, I don't know if he's going to see some meaningful hockey if he saw out the last, year plus of his contract with Vancouver. Then he gets an injury, and it was sort of a weird hit during I think it was the middle to late part of March, a few weeks after he got there. And he missed a game or two with a lower body injury. Came back pretty quickly. He just didn't seem right after that. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses, right? He had time to feel better, but I just wonder if that's a little bit part of it. And also, Dave kind of feeling like Tyler Myers is best as their third pairing right defenseman with Liam Bichsel, not having to get elevated, which he was because Nils Lundkvist got kicked in the face by a skate a couple of games ago in Minnesota, which was, very scary. And Nils is okay, but he's not fit to play yet. And Jason, if I may, speaking of injuries, and I don't want people listening to think that I'm making excuses because, as you say, part of a playoff run, let alone just a series, is can you physically stay healthy enough to be the team? Because Rope Hintz is still out, and he got hurt the first game he played after the Olympics. He came off the Olympic break and had some sort of illness, and it kept him out for about a week. He comes back and plays against the Avalanche trade deadline night. So the trade deadline ended that afternoon. Stars play the Avalanche in Dallas that evening, and he gets into a tussle sort of behind the play with Nathan McKinnon, a little wrestling match, goes down awkwardly. Stars haven't said anything other than lower body injury. It looked like he grabbed his hamstring. I don't know for sure if that's what it was, but that's what it looked like. Then after a couple of weeks, they say he's starting to skate, and then all of a sudden he's not skating anymore. And Glenn Gulletson had said that he had a setback. Now he's starting to skate now, but they thought he was going to be ready for the first game of the playoffs. And now it doesn't look like he's going to be ready, even if they get to a Game 7. And I don't know what team wouldn't have a major impact if their number one center isn't available for a playoff round. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses, but that makes a big difference, especially with his speed in transition, as Minnesota's been really good about killing Dallas's, momentum going through the middle of the ice.
So yeah, you look at the Stars tonight, and like Minnesota game 1, they really controlled. The last game kind of similar. Have they been like? Do you feel the 3-2 is an accurate portrayal of how the series has gone on the ice?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it could. I don't want to sound like I'm overly partisan to the Stars. I think it could be the other way. I talked about Wyatt Johnston in Game 4 almost scored, and it could have been a 3-1 lead going back to Dallas for Game 5. Very, very close. Now Minnesota could have won Game 3 that went to double overtime. They had their chances. It could have been totally the other way around. In the end, it's probably about where it should be, because if you look at the games you just mentioned, Game 1 in Dallas, Game 5, I don't think the Stars are going to be really thrilled with the performance. Not the effort, right? The effort's there, but the performance and execution isn't to where they want it to be. And I know it's overly tired to say scoring first is so important, but in a series like this where the teams are so evenly matched, the one that has to chase the game is at a very big disadvantage, right? Because they have to open up, and then they become susceptible to the counterattack. Whereas the one that has that lead, I'm not saying they're going to sit back, but they can stay within their structure, their system, and they don't have to force things. And that has been a huge thing because of how close both of these teams are.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight, if Dallas can stave off elimination and force a Game 7 on Saturday, or if Minnesota moves on to the second round for the first time in over a decade. Should be fun. As always, Owen, really appreciate your time. Enjoy the game.
My pleasure, Jason. Thanks for having me today.
There you go. That is Owen Newkirk from Dallas, where the Stars, they've only scored 3 5-on-5 goals. Like, their power play is unreal, but their power play is keeping them alive. And we'll see if if the Wild could kill off some penalties, they'd probably be punching their ticket to a date against the Colorado Avalanche. 3:45, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember the Jason Gregor Show specials? We've got an extra one for you today. A little Jake Wallman, Jack Roslovic action with then of course Kasperi Kapanen. Does he stay hot? Do the Oilers win? Check it out, PlayAlberta.ca under the Jason Gregor Show. We will return. We're going to hear from Coach Chris Knobloch and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill, still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me, GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or business online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate Northgate country.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting non-stop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
My go-to move for getting out of the doghouse is catch of the week. Forget flowers. I head there, and the staff points me to the perfect fish and tells me how to cook it. It's easier than you think. Last week, I made an incredible salmon dinner. My wife was so impressed, she forgot why she was mad. It's my secret weapon. It works every time. They're just 5 minutes from Sherwood Park, but it's worth the drive from anywhere. Stop thinking about dinner and just go to Catch of the Week.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. Ewell.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Come on, Eileen. Oiler fans will probably just chant, come on, Oilers. That's what you'll be chanting tonight. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Beautiful day outside now, isn't it? All right, the Ranch Golf and Country Club opened up. They're ready to roll for the weekend if you like teeing up, which many of you do. Oilers win tonight. Very quickly after the game, they will announce the start time. Because, well, I guess maybe even during the game, depending on what the score is, but because they'll know by the time the Oiler game in the later stages what happened in the Minnesota-Dallas game. And if Mini wins tonight, then the only game, 7 potential, would be the Oilers and the Ducks. If Dallas wins, they'll be playing Saturday night. Selfishly, who doesn't like Game 7s? We got to have a few, don't we? Like Tampa, Montreal, please. For the love of everything, that series got to have 7 games. Every game's been a 1-goal game. It's been awesome. But the Habs now can win on home ice tomorrow night. Vegas can win their series tomorrow. And you look at it right now, elimination games. Teams facing elimination. Ottawa lost. LA lost. Pittsburgh is 2-1. lost, of course, last night, but Boston and Edmonton victorious. So 4-3 so far for teams facing elimination, and teams who score first, 6-1 in elimination games when one team is facing elimination so far in the playoffs this year. Oilers, since 2022, have played 12 elimination games. They're 8-4. They're 8-0 when they score first. So now, keep in mind, the losses, Colorado in 22, Avs won the Cup. Vegas in 23, Vegas won the Cup. Florida 24, Florida 25. Those were in the Cup finals. They won. Do I think the Ducks are a Cup winner? No. So even if the Oilers give up the first goal tonight, I don't think it should be a guaranteed game over for them, unless, of course, it's in overtime like the Pittsburgh and Philly game last night. Now, let's get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle, no better place to stop than goauto.ca. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. They got 15,000 of them to choose from. 73 different locations, 33 different brands. You will get the vehicle you want at goauto.ca. And we're going to start with Zach Hyman. And Hyman on his team starts so far in this series. And obviously, they've been pretty good. Oilers have scored first in all 5 games.
Yeah, usually you score the first goal, you win. It hasn't been the case, obviously, entirely this series, but it's important to get out to good starts. It's important to get ahead, especially as the series goes on, games get tighter. Every goal is extremely important.
Now, what about the Ducks? Young team, they got 14 players now in the lineup because Gudas is out, right? Helson's in. These guys are all making their NHL debuts, 14 of them. So a lot of these guys have never been in a situation where they're up 3-1, never mind 3-2, and now you're at home and you're like, oh, it's exciting. But what about the pressure? How does it change as the series goes on?
Yeah, they're good. They're really good, like offensive. They got really good young players. Easier to play maybe in a series early on. Play free when there's not as much pressure. Obviously now pressure on both sides. Pressure for them to close it out. Pressure for us to keep our season alive. So I think every play gets magnified, and just go out there and play the right way. And I think we're confident in our group.
As I would assume they are. And how much does the experience of being in elimination games, how much of a factor do you think that can be a benefit for the Oilers tonight?
I don't know if you necessarily lean on it. You just it's a different feeling when it's different when you play your first NHL game compared to when you play your 500th NHL game. Like there's just a mentality and a mindset that for us, there's nothing unexpected. We played in a lot of us played in the Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like there's we've played in big games before, so there's a comfort to playing in those. You got to play your best. Your season's on the line. I think you're better at it as you play more.
Probably just you see the situations more. You're not surprised. You're probably able to regulate your emotions a little bit better. Chris Knobloch. First of all, the mentality of the team going in and a veteran group that's been there before, kind of does he have a sense of where his team's at?
Yeah, it's a high pressure game that it is a elimination game, but we've been in these before and games that are even more high pressure, and the calm and the easiness of our players is pretty remarkable. That it's just as if it's another game. Obviously it's not. There's a lot riding on it, but there's a lot of confidence. They feel good, and they know what they have to do,
which is win. Doesn't matter how they win. Win 7-6, 8-7, 2-1, 1-0, whatever. They just need to win. That's obviously what has to be their approach. Does he feel like his team is getting stronger as the series goes along? Basically, the direction they're going. Is it the right direction?
There's always things that can be better. The fact that we won by 3 the other night, obviously that feels good, but there's certainly things that every game's been different, whether it's been special teams being a factor, power play, penalty kill, 5-on-5 play, scoring goals, not being able to score goals, just the fact that we won 4-1 and we liked a lot of things about it, but we also know that game plan is going to change a little bit. Them having the home ice, they control the matchups, and just as always, there's just always different factors throughout a game.
What about Leon and Connor together? Does he plan to do it even though the Ducks have last change? Does that matter?
I think we'll be mixing up the lines, but I think we can play them together. There'll be times where they are together, but obviously we have to be a little more cognizant of their top line. Just when they're out there, making sure that we've got the next shift ready for that counter strike.
What do you make of that answer, Con Man? We'll be mixing up, we got to be cognizant of their top line, which is obviously the Leo Carlson line with Gauthier and Terry. And then you want a counter strike. So do you think it's Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Podkolzin? Is that the line? I think that's the matchup you're going to want tonight against the Carlson line, correct?
That was kind of the way I took it too. Let those guys battle for 45 seconds and counter strike with your heavyweights. Yeah, that's kind of the way I took it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. But he did say we were switching up the line, so maybe he mix and matches at different times. So why not? Right? Like you can play them together. You can play them apart. I'm not one who gets too hung up on. I know some people freak out over you got to be together for chemistry. They just move. Look at how often they move lines and one or guy off a different line, and it's worked right away in the playoffs. So trust me. You know what? Their top 9 guys have all played with each other, whether it's Savoy and Roslovic and Nugent Hopkins and Hyman with McDavid, Podkolzin, Kapanen, Draisaitl, Dick. They're all interchangeable, really, at the end of it. You've got Nugent Hopkins, Dickinson, McDavid, Draisaitl. They can play center. All right, Savoy and Hyman can play left or right. Kapanen can play left or right. Podkolzin's mainly a left winger. But other than that, you know what? The guys, they'll bounce around. So I'm kind of curious now to see who will play with who at different times. I think you might see some different combinations. And now if a line gets going, you want to keep going. But I think that Nugent Hopkins Hyman line, I don't know if I'd be that afraid of, do you think that, do the Ducks have that good of a shutdown line? And if you're the Ducks, do you not want the Carlson line out against them? Because if it's not the Carlson line, are you going to put the Granlund line out against the McDavid line? Is that the line that you feel more comfortable with? Honestly, I don't know if there's a line that I look and say, wow, hey, we're going to play washy against them all the time. They've had a good, or Poling, right? We're going to play Ryan Poling against them all the time. I just don't know if I necessarily adhere to that, right? You look, the Ducks have played the Granlund, Killorn, Seneca line the most, then Carlson, Terry, Cutter, Gauthier, Poling, McTavish, Kreider. Those lines have been together pretty much it, right? Then you obviously have the Washy line with Vial and more. Right? Their lines have stayed together. Edmonton has obviously had more combinations of lines, right? Draisaitl, Kapanen, Podkolzin have been the most. Then it's McDavid, Savoy, and Hyman. And then it kind of, last game, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kapanen played 11:40. Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Hyman have played 10 minutes. So they'll mix and match different line combinations here. I don't think we're going to see. I can't say for certain if you're just going to see the same lines roll together all the time. So it'll be fun. We'll get more from Nurse and Hyman and Coach Knobloch coming up in the final 2 hours of the show. Coming up in hour number 3, we will hear from Zach Kavanaugh. We're going to get to our stats of the day. But first, let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good for professional property services you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Visit hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
with the Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers trying to stay alive for the second consecutive game as they take on the Ducks down in Anaheim, trailing 3-2. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson. At 5:30, got the Wild and Stars from Minnesota. Minnesota leading that series 3-2. Hockey Canada announced that Misha Donskov will serve as head coach of Canada's national men's team and junior team, while building the coaching staff for both programs. Donskov won a Stanley Cup with Vegas as the director of hockey ops. In the association tonight, 3 games. Knicks, Hawks from Atlanta. You got the Celtics and Sixers, and the Timberwolves trying to wrap up their series against the Nuggets at 7:30. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action tonight. The only game this evening, taking on the Twins at 5:40. Right now, Astros up on the Orioles 11-4 in the 7th. Midway through the second, Phillies lead the Giants 2-0 in Game 2 of their doubleheader. They won Game 1 3-2. You also the Cards over the Pirates 10-5. Brewers beating up the Diamondbacks 13-1, and the Athletics doubled up the Royals 6-3. In the PWHL, playoffs get going tonight. Boston and Ottawa Game 1. Puck drop at 5. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions, get to the stats of the day, and be joined by Ducks reporter Zach Kavanaugh. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Your protein drink should work as
That
hard as you do.
genre of
That's why
music,
Booster
welcome
Juice
back.
is
It is
hitting the gym
the
harder than
Thursday-
ever, brother. Meet your new gym
Back,
buddies,
it is
the Way
the
Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way
Tonight-
Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999. Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and
Jobs,
totally
great.
free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Carriott and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
What does deadline mean?
It means you have to do something before time runs out.
Oh, like buying your big brother's, big sister's dream home tickets?
Yes, exactly like that.
The Dream Home Lottery deadline is April 30th. That's today.
Your chance to win the grand prize, your choice, a dream home, or $1 million and take home half the Win 50 jackpot is almost gone. Every ticket supports kids right here in our community. BigBrothersDreamHome.org. When you buy a ticket, you help a child.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth EE football coverage, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on a lovely Thursday afternoon. The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And the Daily Grand on Thursdays. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. Oh, how fun would that be? $7.3 million. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. And we are going to get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009. You know what? The same year Lowtie started on air. Needed somebody to get a shovel for all that. Just kidding, LT. Just kidding. But they have been specializing in gas as well as telecommunications. They also do hydrovacing and huge sports fans. Wishing the Oilers best of luck tonight in Game 6. That is All-Star Construction. So we'll get to some stats of the day. First of all, let's start with some things that maybe you knew, maybe you didn't. Did you know last game on Tuesday, Evan Bouchard, 3 assists. Evan Bouchard, now that was his third game in his career when the Oilers were facing elimination that he had 3-point game. Only Ray Bourque has had more games of 3 or more points when facing elimination. He's had 4. Bouchard has now had 3. Also in that game, Leon Draisaitl ties the great one, Wayne Gretzky, for most power play goals in Oilers playoff history. Draisaitl has 23 power play goals in 101 playoff games. Gretzky had 23 in 120. Draisaitl, obviously, he could break the record tonight, but he's going to break it sometime soon. And could he's on pace to catch Brett Hall. Brett Hall holds the NHL playoff record for most power play goals. He has 38. Hall played 202 games. As I mentioned, Draisaitl's played exactly half of those, 101. So he's on pace for 46. Not saying you'd always score as much in the later stages of your career, but the way the Oilers power play going, the way Draisaitl's going, he could give it a run for the money. When you look at guys all time in the playoffs, like they're scoring for McDavid and Draisaitl, they just continue to move up the ranks. They're obviously third and fourth in points per game. But Connor McDavid is now, he tied Adam Oates last game. He's now tied with Oates for 29th in playoff points with 156. Leon Draisaitl is tied with Stan Mikita for 32nd at 150. Now, Mikita played 155 games. Draisaitl's played 101. McDavid's played 101 games. Adam Oates played 163. So those guys obviously are just going to keep climbing the charts over the next few years. Next up for McDavid, he has 156. Brad Marchand, Claude Lemieux have 158. Then Al McInnes, Bobby Smith, Gordie Howe, Mike Bossy are at 160. So 3 more points for McDavid, and then he'd move into 23rd all-time. Meanwhile, Draisaitl has got Mikita and Murphy, and then he gets up to Oates and Marchand, etc. So Oilers win this round. If they come back and win the 2 games, very good chance that both of those guys are going to be in the top 25 all-time of playoff scoring. Pretty impressive to say the least. When you look at defensemen and scoring and where Evan Bouchard is, Bouchard just continues to climb the ranks. He is now up to 23rd. He's got 88 points. He is 1 point ahead of Cale Makar, who has 87. Makar has played 3 more games. Both of those guys passed Charlie Huddy earlier this postseason. Bouchard up next, Gonchar and Olsel at 90 points, and Duncan Keith at 91. So if Bouchard gets 4 more points, he will move into the top 20 all time, and he's only played 80 playoff games. So pretty, he's actually only 5 more points, and he passes Bobby Orr on the all-time playoff list. I know that people are like, oh yeah, but they got to win a cup. As I've said many times, teams win cups. You hope the Oilers win, but it doesn't discount what a player does individually. If they're producing and they're outscoring the opposition when they're on the ice, like I'm just not sure what else you can expect guys to do to help win. You want your players to produce. That's what you want. That they're doing their job, and I think they're doing their job exceptionally well in that regard. Some other numbers, as I mentioned, for the Oilers. Elimination games, they have boatloads of experience tonight. Is the 13th elimination game since 2022. For the Oilers, they're 8-4. They're 8-0 when they score first. In this series, scoring first, the Oilers have done it all 5 times, but they're only 2-3 in that regard. Now, I'd still play the odds. You score first, your chances of winning go up significantly. Paul Colson has scored the first goal twice. Kapanen scored in Game 4 in Anaheim, 38 seconds in. Leon Draisaitl scored first, and obviously Jason Dickinson opened up the scoring in Game 1. But the Oilers have scored 38 seconds into the game, 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the game, 7 and 8 minutes, and then 13. So they have found a way to get on the board pretty quick. Actually, sorry, 17 minutes for Dickinson, not 13. It was 17 minutes. And they scored like a minute later to make it 2-0. So starts have been a benefit for the Edmonton Oilers. That's a trend that they want to continue tonight, no question, because the teams who score first, now the Oilers are the exception so far, but I'm still going to play the math and I'm still going to play the odds and be like, hey, if we can win, that's what we want, right? The Oilers, of course, have lost 3 times. The Bruins have lost twice, scoring first, same as Utah. And no one else has lost twice. Then you got a lot of guys like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Montreal, Dallas, Vegas, and LA have each lost once when scoring first. So you think about it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 13 times. If you score first, you lose, but 70, 19, 21, 22, 34 divided. So basically it's 26 wins if you score first to win. Still way better odds. So you'll take that all day long. It's like a 2-to-1 chance, 26 and 13. Then you throw in the Oilers' experience in elimination games. The Ducks have 14 players skating in the game tonight, including their goalie, Dostal. This is their first ever playoff experience. This is their first ever, like everything's first for them. Game 6. First time, second time because they had a chance to clinch on Tuesday and couldn't get it done. But now you're at home. The crowds will be going crazy. The Ducks haven't won a series since they beat the Edmonton Oilers. in 2017 in the second round. Other stats, Leon Draisaitl is currently leading playoff scoring, 3 goals and 9 points. Kaprizov is second. He's got 2 goals and 9 points. Jason Robertson, Matt Duchene. So the top 4 scorers are all in action tonight between Edmonton, Minnesota, and Dallas. Jackson Lacombe also at 8 points, playing for the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks have not led at any point of the last 2 games. So is Edmonton slowly starting to control the series a little bit more? They're going to hope they are. Some of the statistics will say they do, except one that matters a lot: penalty kill. Because it has not, there's really been no improvement. It's the one area of the Oilers game that I would look at and say, I'm seeing no improvement. It's not like, okay, they started bad and they gave up 2 goals in the first 2 chances. But you know what? Since then, the penalty kill has been really good. No, that's not how it's going at all for the Edmonton Oilers. Because if you look at the Ducks in game 1, they went 1 for 2, then 2 for 3, then 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 1 for 2. So 50%, 33.3%, 67%, and 50%. There's been really no improvement at all for the Edmonton Oilers throughout the series. And if we say, well, you know, they're taking fewer penalties, not necessarily true. Because in the first game, they took 2 penalties. Game 5, they took 2 penalties. They have to find a way, must find a way to kill off a few penalties tonight. I don't think they're going to go penalty-free, are the Oilers, but they got to find a way to kill some off. They just do. So, you know, they're not taking a significant amount of penalties. Don't get me wrong, but they're taking enough that it's a problem. And they've had more penalties. Last game they had 4. The Ducks only had 2 chances. Edmonton had more chances in game 2 than they did. They were even in game 1, and the Ducks have had more chances in games 3 and 4. So pretty much even, right? 2 games, each team has had more power plays, and then 1 game they were tied. So I don't think anyone can really complain about the officiating in this series. I think it has been pretty even. Outside of the Chris Kreider. Like, that is a hit from behind all day. I don't care who it's on. It's a hit from behind. Now, the fact that it's on Leon Draisaitl, leading scorer in the playoffs, you'd think maybe the league, but the league doesn't seem to care at times. They don't want to protect their stars like the NFL does with their quarterbacks, the NBA does with their star players. They just don't. Now, we can debate if that's right or wrong, but they don't do it. I don't think it's smart, but I'm not the commissioner. There's some stats of the day for you. Also, my favorite stat doesn't even involve the Oilers, but the Dallas Stars. 3 5-on-5 goals so far in the playoffs. Like, to me, it's just crazy to think that you only have 3 goals 5-on-5, but you have 9 goals on the power play. 9. If their power play is great, 39%. It's keeping them in it. That's why I kind of like Minnesota to win this series. When we return, Zach Kavanaugh joins us. What changes will the Ducks make tonight after the first game of the series where the Ducks offense got thwarted? They only scored once. They got down. They weren't able to create a comeback. They're going to change anything. Joe Quenneville, for the first time in the series, wasn't really happy with this team's play. So what changes does he have in store? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live and on the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $399 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Plus, only until Monday, take until 2030 to pay with 0% interest. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. OAC, see in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
Free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Spring savings at Pet Value. Save $10 on select dry dog food from Go, Solutions, and Origin Amazing Grains. Shop your local Pet Value and petvalue.ca.
Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is back. Save up to 25% on quality tire brands including Continental, Michelin, Motomaster, and Pirelli until May 21st. Conditions apply. Details online.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The playoffs are here and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.425 as we inch closer, under 4 hours to go. Excited, nervous? Quickly, let us know, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Just on a scale of 1 to 10, your belief that there'll be a Game 7. It's very simple. 1 to 10, your belief that there will be a Game 7. 833-401-1440. Hey guys, Dallas, Minnesota Game 7, be at 5. Honestly, I'm not speculating on start times because I have no idea. If both teams are playing, then yes, I could see a 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Edmonton start times, just because that's what we see all regular season, and TV will have a say in it. If there's only one Game 7, I could see it being at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, because that's usually, how it used to be. And they're definitely not going to want, like, if Edmonton and Anaheim are the only game, or even if Dallas and Minnesota are the only game, they're not going to have it start late. It makes no sense. So, but Edmonton's got to win before any of that happens. So we shall see. 833-401-1440. 1 out of 10. Where's your confidence level that there will be a Game 7 as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, where you can take action on your savings right now. Look at that big thing in the sky. It's called the sun. And man, when it beats down and you got solar, it is saving you money. You want solar on your home or your commercial building? go to actionelectrical.net and they could walk you through the entire process as we head out to Anaheim. Game 6 tonight from the Sporting Tribune. Beat reporter for the Ducks, Zach Kavanaugh, joins us. Zach, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Jason. Just checking my Google Flights notifications to make sure if I need to get an emergency flight tonight for Game 7.
Oh, there you go. Very possible. I know I saw the boys in Edmonton doing that after Game 5, waiting. Some of them did it with about 5 minutes left because they were confident, but it's risky. It's always risky. The Ducks, Joel Quenneville, after Game 5, that was kind of the first time in the series, and rightfully so, that he was a little disappointed in his team. Said, hey, you know what? We got to be better. What things do you feel that he wants to focus on for his group tonight where they need to improve?
I mean, number one is the start of the game, right? Edmonton has scored first in every single game, and this has been a problem all season long for the Ducks. They were in the top 5 of most games starting, giving up the opening goal, and it's a concern, that they have to keep coming back in these games. They've shown the ability to come back, but it has to be matching the Edmonton's energy from the start. They simply can't go down again and hope to keep coming back against this Edmonton squad. And whether that's making sure Lucas Dostal gets a save, making sure that's not allowing the Oilers to get those early opportunities, and especially staying out of the penalty box. One way or another, Anaheim has to be the team on their end to actually initiate in this game rather than receiving and having to react whatever the other team's doing.
And, well, the Ducks are very good at it. It's kind of who they've been, right? It's kind of like the Oilers. The Oilers have been the team all year who can play very good one game and then soil the sheets the next game defensively. So the Ducks are kind of who they are, right? Like, I don't know, and maybe they could do it, but I don't know if the Ducks can, in an elimination game, say, okay, we're going to batten down the hatches and win a 2-1 game, right? Because that's not really how they've won all year.
No, and that's sort of what I got the sense of when I asked some of the guys this morning. Cutter Gauthier said, I asked, do you have to change your game? And he said, it's a little too late in the series and the season to start doing stuff like that. So they're going to play how they're going to play, but it's a matter of dictating how the game is being played. Because I thought that's what the Ducks had did in the first 2 games back in Anaheim, that they were the ones kind of dictating play early on. And, in game 5 up there, it simply wasn't the case. They were flat. Edmonton was ready to go, and they should expect the same sort of effort from the Oilers tonight, right? So get out there, start shooting the puck, pepper Connor Ingram as they did in game 3, and really try to set the tone. And I think it's not a problem with like changing the style of play. They can play up tempo, they can score, but it's a matter of you getting the 3-goal lead first rather than having to come back from one in this case.
Yeah, obviously we talked about first goals, and hey, credit the Ducks. They're the only team in the playoffs that have come back 3 times to win, giving up the first goal. The rest of the league is pretty much a very low chance of winning when you give up the first goal. And that's who they are. They've done it all year long. So I give them credit, but it is playing with fire when you look historically in the playoffs, if you're always chasing the game. Any reason, like when you look at Edmonton, like it wasn't like Anaheim really made a bad play on the opening goal. It was more so Bouchard just made a great play to create time and space and find Podkolzin. So you've watched the Ducks all year long. Any reason why they've trailed so much? What's led to it?
There is no rhyme or reason to any of it. There are games where they play terribly to start the game, and they're the ones that get the first goal. There are games where they dictate the start of play, and they're running well, and then about 10 minutes in, they'll give up the first goal. There is no secret to any of it. And it's, as the guys in the room, we try to ask these things of the players and say, do you feel anything different? Do you see? And they are all just as bewildered. And I think at this point, they just, as we sort of have, you accept it, that no matter what you do, the first goal is going to go in, whether not that they're going to get to take the first goal, but it doesn't matter how you start. Either you're going to score first or you're not. It's really not up to anything in particular. It is a little concerning, as we mentioned, Lucas Dostal, that he's led the league in goals given up on the first shot. But I think the real key is sort of the defensive play, because as much as blame as you can put on a goaltender for maybe not getting a save, the Ducks do give up all these grade A chances so easily, right, especially in the middle of the ice, which they simply just can't be doing, especially if you're going to go against McDavid and Draisaitl and the like. It's a matter of locking in and simply executing the little things, which I thought they were doing very well in the first 4 games of the series, not so much in game 5.
Now, you mentioned Dostal. Do you know how many first shot goals has he allowed this year?
I believe the last one was his 12th of the season. And wow. I don't have the expanded stats, But like, I think the broadcast team, they get access to all the sports logic and stuff. And I think if you even expand it to the first 4 shots, it's even higher than that. And I don't know what that is either, because he's a goalie that's very good about reading and anticipating and kind of shutting off those crazy plays like that. He doesn't give up stuff easily, but yet this is kind of the stat. It's an odd thing because he does lock in late in games, as you saw in game 4 when he makes the McDavid stops. It's again, one of those things that it happens. Nobody really has a good answer for it, but you gotta stop doing that at some point.
Well, I wanted you to repeat that because Oiler fans for years have felt like their goalie was the only one in the league who allowed goals in the first shots, and like Koskinen, they had some other guys, and it's been a little bit of a running gag in Edmonton. So it's always good to hear that give them a reality check. Yes, there are other teams that struggle, even other good goalies, and 12. That's a pretty big number. It's almost like when you think about how many games you start, it's almost like 1 out of every 5 games. Now, some of those are never on the goalie. Like I thought Podkolzin made a perfect shot. I didn't really blame Dostal. Now the second goal was definitely, he played a big factor in, right? I've noticed Ingram's not a great puck handler. How would you rank Dostal's puck handling skill?
Well, until that last game, I thought he was doing pretty well with the puck handling. I noticed plenty of times, especially in the 2 games in Edmonton, he did a really good job of reading the ice and seeing where McDavid was on a given play and sending the puck the other direction. And so to see him make that sort of play was very surprising to me. It kind of maybe showed me that maybe he wasn't totally locked in as you want him to be in that game. But the thing about Dostal is that he is such of all the goaltenders you deal with, he is so calm, cool, collected. He's the most unassuming guy when you talk to, very soft-spoken, very quiet, but also unflappable in so many ways. So when he gives up something like that, it kind of gives me pause of what's going on over there. But he's also a guy that's stepped up to those big moments. You saw how he played in the Olympics. We saw how he played in the late moments of game 4. He can lock in. It's a thing that's hard to put your finger on, but he is generally a very good puck handling goaltender. So that was a odd gaffe for him in that game.
Now, I watched that goalie pull, and I don't think he had much of a chance in the first or the third goal. So, and even the second goal, you know what? Yeah, he made the bad play on the puck handling, but it wasn't like he made a bad play between the pipes. Do you think that was Joe Quenneville more just saving his goalie and trying to motivate the team to say, guys, we're leaving this guy out to dry here. We're getting outshot 8-2. It's 3-0 here. Let's get going. It was much more about the team than the goalie.
Column A, column B. I think you want Dostal to make some of those saves. Like, they're tough, but you need your goalie in a big moment to make a big save like that. But it is the defense, and it has been the defense in so many ways in this particular problem all season long, where even on the Podkolzin goal, it's a great shot, but if you look tight at the replay, Trouba gives him too much space, gets to him late. His stick kind of gets there, and maybe the puck ramps up the stick a little bit. And what are you going to do? And then on the third goal, Draisaitl left alone next to the net. He's not going to miss many of those. So as Dostal, what do you do? Do you overcommit to the guy in the slot? Do you back up, open the slots? It's an odd position that he's been put in time after time, but there's been times early in the season where the Ducks have felt comfortable letting this kind of play go on, because I saw him stop a 3-on-0 at least twice in the first 2 months of the season. It's not like he's not used to it, but they need to be making things easier on him, because that's my worry now is they lean on him all season long. He plays as much as he does in this playoff series, and now you get into this where you're still giving up those big chances, and I don't know how tired he could be at this point. But I think Quenneville also pointed to it's not a bad thing to give him a night off, like they were sort of able to do in that game. And maybe he comes back today refreshed and bounce back, and again, he can kind of clear his head and get back at it.
Yeah, see, I wondered, like, Connor Ingram. Now, Connor Ingram hasn't been a starter for a long time in his career, right? Dostal's been a starter basically since coming in, right? Like, I know he spent a little bit of time with what's his name, who left?
Gibson.
Gibson, yeah. But he's been their main guy so him starting a lot of games is not new, right? Ingram a little bit new. He said, man, I felt physically and mentally refreshed after getting game 4 off. How is Dostal, when he gets time off? Because I know he played 10 minutes or whatever, but he's sitting on the bench after that. There's not taxing. Are his numbers better? Like, do you expect him to have a better game? Because now I know it's one game, and that can really, in a short sample size, really skew the stats, because now he's dead last in goals saved above expected in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was already low in that number before. But again, I've talked to some of my friends that are in the analytics side of things, and they've said that some of these models are not as accurate this season as they have been in years past, especially when it comes to goals saved above expected. Like, for example, that Draisaitl goal that went in, the third goal, that was only like a 10% chance of going in, when in reality, that's like a 98% chance that he's scoring from that spot. So it's an odd thing. With Dostal, I think he does better. And we have to factor into that he had the Olympics in there, that he was being leaned on for Czechia in those games. He's been playing, he played just a lot of games total over the course of this season. And they tried to go down the stretch, alternating him and Husso for the last 15 games or so. And he's been pretty good coming in and out. And I feel like he, though, likes the pressure. He does like the load. He said that he likes this big workload. So I think he's going to be ready to kind of reassume it and say, no, this is my crease, and get back to it. Whether that means that it's, this Ducks team has not posted a shutout of any kind since the season opener last season. So it's been a while for him to put up a goose egg. So maybe now's the time.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Did not know that. We know that Jackson Lacombe, that's the matchup that they'd like to have against Connor McDavid, and it's gone pretty well for the Anaheim Ducks. On home ice tonight, as we get later in the series, like the game, they just mean more. Whether it's not right. Like a win in game 6 is just the same importance as a win in game 1, but we all know that just psychologically it's different. How do you see Quenneville going tonight? If they load up McDavid and Draisaitl, which forward line do you think he'll want out there with the Trouba Lacombe defense pair?
It's been an interesting watch in that regard, right? Because everybody's talked about the Tim Washy fourth line, and you want them I think he likes that matchup in the defensive zone because he likes them to be able to win the faceoff and get out of there. And I think they've been pretty comfortable playing the Karlsson line against McDavid as well, kind of fighting fire with fire, because as much as McDavid is going to get his chances, they're also going to give up plenty on the other end as well. So I think they're kind of comfortable rolling between the first and fourth in that regard. And when it comes to the deep pairs, obviously Jackson Lacombe, Jacob Trouba are going to get the brunt of it. I don't even know how many minutes the third pair is going to get tonight. I think they only had 7 last game in total. So I would imagine a very heavy lean on the top guys. Joel hasn't been big about matchups more as it is situations. And they want to get Washy into the defensive zone, win those faceoffs, and try to get Karlsson into the offensive zone, and try to maximize on their opportunities. Get Leo and Cutter to get their games back, and they need their big players to be their big players tonight.
Well, we look forward to the game, Zach. As always, man, thanks so much for this. Enjoy Game 6, and we'll see if you have to book a late flight for Game 6.
Yep, I've got the tabs saved. We'll see.
Awesome. There's Zach Kavanaugh from the Sporting Tribune in Anaheim. So the Ducks, obviously, they're not going to change how they play, as Cutter Gauthier said to Zach. This is who we are. Are they going to try to lock down and win a 2-1 game? I guess it's possible, but it's not really their thing. That's not how they play. And you know what? It's hard to change who you are all of a sudden in the in the playoffs, especially late in the playoffs. So I was looking at the Ducks, and I'm going through their regular season games, and they did beat San Jose 6-1, and Calgary 3-2. Utah. So in their last 25 let's keep going. In their last 30 regular season games, the Ducks allowed 2 goals or less 5 times. So yeah, they can do it, but it is it's challenging. And they did it against San Jose, and they did it against Calgary, and they did it against Calgary again. Now they did shut down Utah in one of those games, so pretty good team. But I think Edmonton, if you can limit Anaheim offensively, you got a really good chance to win, because Anaheim, when they do limit, like I'm looking at when they do limit 1 goal against, they've scored like 7-1, 4-1, 4-1. Like they're still scoring a lot. But like a low scoring game, they had one of them against the Kings, who can't score, and they beat them 2-1. Other than that, they beat Dallas actually 3-1. Most games when they're winning, even giving up 2 goals, they're scoring 5, 4, 6, 7. So if you're Edmonton and you can limit the offense of the Ducks, just like we saw in Game 5, and hey, it's no surprise to me, defense in this series, like, could you win a high-scoring game? Yes, Edmonton could score, but a high-scoring game plays much more into Anaheim's hands. We know the Ducks can win that way. You don't know if they can win a low-scoring game. The Oilers can. They've done it many times. That's got to be their focus tonight is, you know what, not try to play run and gun against the Ducks. Not that they can't do it, but you're allowing Anaheim to stay in the game the longer you do that, in my opinion. We'll come back. 5 questions. We've got Spec, DVD, and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where you check it out. Of course, you can do a lottery. You have casino, live dealer, instance, and more. PlayAlberta.ca.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Noodle noodle nood noodle nood noodle nood noodle noodle nood noodle noodle nood 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 noodle noodle nood noodle noodle nood noodle nood noodle nood noodle noodle nood noodle noodle nood 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 noodle noodle nood.
Promo low down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. And yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We roll through Thursday afternoon. Of course, game day tonight. Oilers and the Ducks. Pivotal game 6. Oilers need a win. Ducks can win and move on for the first time since 2017. They could be, well, depending on what happens in Minnesota, they could be either the 4th or the 5th team to move on to the next round. The Flyers punched their ticket last night after Colorado and Carolina had sweeps. Montreal's moved a game closer. We've got the Buffalo Sabres up 3-2. Vegas is now up 3-2. So, meanwhile, the Oilers are just looking to force another game 7. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, and the tent sale is ongoing right now. Some unreal deals. Get 65% off sofas when you buy the matching love seater chair. Also, you can take until 2032 to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. So check it out this weekend, The Brick tent sale, thebrickandthebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, biggest game of the Oilers season so far. What happens? And we'll throw in a bold prediction as well.
Go ahead, Con.
I'm going to say tight game, close one, 3-2, Oilers win, and Savoy gets a goal.
Savoy?
Yeah. When they need it.
Oh, all right. Bold. Well, I think the Oilers do win. I had 4-2, and bold prediction. Oh, the Oilers don't give up a power play goal. That is bold. Like that's pretty. That's almost like people are like, Gregor, that's not even realistic. It's at that point now. Not sure you can get more bold than that.
Gregor, question number 2. 5 series left, all with the opportunity to go 7. How many of them actually will?
I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. I think 3 go. Edmonton, Utah, and Tampa will all force a game 7.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I got to go 1 since I picked the Oil. I'm going to go up to 2. I will say that the Lightning force a game 7, and that will be my pick for the only other one to go there. Question number 3 for you. Regardless of what happens tonight, I think everyone can agree the Ducks' future quite bright. As we sit, looking forward, lots can change, but where do you think they'll finish in the Pacific next season?
Oh, man. Well, the Oilers never win the division, so not sure why I would change next year. But I would Ducks, like you want exact, like I think they're a playoff team next year, I would assume. But like just because you do it once doesn't mean that the carousel it's always going up, right? Like ask Ottawa. So I guess I'll say Anaheim finishes 2nd in the Pacific next year.
Yeah, like you said, can't be the Oilers. I'm going to say they win the division next year. I think they're very well coached, like a lot of their pieces, and say they maybe find a way to close out a few more games earlier on, and I'm going to say they win the division next season. Question number 3 for you. We've got the NBA playoffs going on right now as well. Which series would you say has been the biggest surprise for you results-wise?
Well, I think it's got to be the Orlando Magic up on the Pistons, 3-2. I don't think there's one. Maybe close second. I'll say the Timberwolves leading the Nuggets 3 games to 2.
Yeah, I mean every night when Denver doesn't win, I'm getting my update from Declan about what's happening with the Joker. I'll throw the Lakers in there too. I kind of thought they'd find a way to get this one done. Kevin Durant's not supposed to play in Game 6, so that kind of opens things up potentially for them. But you go up 3-0, a chance to get the job done, and haven't been able to do it yet. So I'd throw that one in there as well. And then we get to the final question. It was on this day in 2008. David Blaine set a new Guinness World Record when he held his breath for 17 minutes and 4.5 seconds on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Is there any world record that you would, realistically...
Get the hell out of here.
I'm not making this one up.
Isn't David Blaine like the illusionist magician guy?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't believe it then. He had some way to figure out. He had something inside of him. He didn't look like he was breathing. 17 minutes. Now, like, what about like those Army guys, those Navy people in the Marines and what they can do underwater? Like, they can't even do it for 17 minutes?
Well, maybe.
Oh,
Apparently, there was a free diver went for 24 minutes, 37 seconds in 2021.
Okay, so then so when David Blaine set this long time ago,
2008. Yeah. Live on Oprah. So it has to be true.
I'm questioning that. But anyway.
Either way, if you had to go and try to break one, what would you be looking to break?
Oh, God. Well, what's a world record that's not out there? I would probably, but I guess I have to break one. Ooh. I don't know, man. I'm trying to like, there's no food eating stuff I could do. I'm not into the stand on one leg for a long time. If there was anything that's like speaking Donald Duck related, I'd throw myself. That's something I feel because not many can do it. So my competition pool is less, and I know I can do it. So that might be like longest consecutive time speaking Donald Duck. I could guess I could do that. Like it's like a pointless, useless one. So that's what I'd be good at.
I think for me, like, because in physical, like, I'm not even trying it. But I did see a Cub Scout group did the world's biggest blanket fort, 12,290 square feet. If we have the space, we could acquire the blankets. Like, we could break that one. So I think that's one I would go after.
Where did you find these obscure Guinness Book of World Records?
It just popped up, casually scrolling through Instagram, and that would be the one I'd go for. Like, we could do that. We just need to find the space, and we're in Alberta. We could find it.
Well, yeah, you just need an open field. That's not a big deal. So, yeah, I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the most obscure ones. How about the lady in Mali who had 9 kids, non-uplets, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just looked it up. What's the most obscure Guinness Book of World Records? So in 2021, she delivered 9, and most don't survive from a single birth more than a few hours, but hers did. So there you go. That is that's pretty wild when you think about it. So
you could break the record for most Jello eaten with chopsticks in a minute.
No, I can't eat. No chance. I can't even barely use chopstick on like easy things. Never mind Jello. No, I would fail at that big time. Yeah.
Fastest time to type the alphabet backwards on an iPad. 2 seconds.
What?
Yeah, it says it's under review. I'm not buying that one.
Like, that's physically impossible to type 26 letters in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Hey, Gregor, there's a world record reading Shakespeare's Donald Duck. What? Oh, God, that would be funny. Ooh. Now, I have my Invisalign in. I'm not sure how my Donald works with an Invisalign, but I'm trying to think of, I'd have to practice during the commercial break, see if I could even get out even a sentence of it.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
To be or not to be? That is the question. There you go. So, tell you that Donald Duck, buddy, it's still anytime there's a crying kid, I can get a kid on a plane. You talk Donald Duck and they're kind of like, what the hell is that? And usually it calms them down. I worked with my son, Genius. It's the one thing. So got it from my dad. Don't know how I do it, but because my son asked me and he practices, dude, honestly, I don't know. Like there's nothing special where he put your tongue. I have no idea. So he's getting closer. He practices quite a bit. So I think he'll be able to do it. But
does your wife hate the voice?
No,
Like our
because
texter Evan?
no, no, she actually usually if she's in a little bit of a grumpy mood and I come up and then I'll lean and I'll talk Donald Duck to her, it always calms her down actually. So because I don't use it, it's not like I'm walking around the house talking Donald Duck all the time. It's in select situations where I use it. So it does seem to. I've learned how it can kind of maybe diffuse a situation in my advantage, Cons. So there you
Break
go.
up a bar fight, maybe?
No, I don't think it. No, I don't think that would work. People, the testosterone's flying too high at that point. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can do it. But hey, Greg's, why don't you do longest radio segment hosted by Donald Duck? Now, I remember in Nate, true story, Con. So at Nate, we had to do. Remember when you're radio and television? So we had a project, and you had to get something. You had to do a commercial thing, and it was voiced. And so I just voiced it as Donald Duck. Doing a. For a product placement thing. So I do it myself in studio, whatever. So then you have to run in the class. And they're like, how did you get Donald? Like the people thought that I like paid the guy Donald Duck to voice the thing. Like, I'm like, you think I would pay a guy to do a Nate commercial? Like, God, it was so funny. I'm like, no, I could speak like Donald Duck. It just took me a few takes and away you go. So I like it. Gregor, I'm not going to lie. That was really impressive. Donald Duck. See, well, thank you. Huh. It's one of those, not sure. It's like, it's good for making people smile, which I guess is a good quality. All right. Definitely for kids. It can get kids laughing usually, especially like when they're 4 or 5. Oh man, like that was a go-to. Anytime I could calm the kids down, talk a little Donald Duck, and away they went, and they always thought it was awesome. So as they got older, maybe not so much, but definitely at the young kid age. So quick break. When we come back, Mark Spector. He's kind of more of a goofy than he is a Donald Duck, but he will join us after Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Hey, they don't need Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. They'll just sell you a good vehicle. A special deal. Stop in the brand new Autoplex this weekend. Go for a test drive. The vets are ready for you at NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 6 down in Anaheim. Oilers Ducks tonight just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming our way with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson at 6. Elsewhere, Minnesota taking on Dallas. Wild up 3-2 in that one. Puck drop 5:30 in the association. 3 games tonight. The Hawks and Knicks meeting in Atlanta. New York hitting 3-2 at 6. You got the Sixers and the Celtics. Boston up 3-2. And the Denver Nuggets looking to stay alive as they trail the Timberwolves 3-2. Major League Baseball, just one game yet to get going. It's Jays and Twins from Minneapolis right now. Giants and Phillies tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. That's game 2 of their doubleheader. In game 1, it was the Phillies victorious, winning 3-2. Earlier today, you also the Cards over the Pirates 10-5. Reds down the Rockies 6-4. The Mets losing at home to the Nationals 5-4, and the Brewers beating up on the Diamondbacks 13-1. PWHL playoffs kickoff tonight. Boston and Ottawa. Pucks drop in about 5 minutes. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Project Sportsnet, Derek Van Dies from NHL.com, and we'll hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, raising questions about the U of A hockey program. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Go! Excited, nervous?
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
Of course,
With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. MortgagesToGo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say,
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh. Well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $399 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Plus, only until Monday, take until 2030 to pay with 0% interest. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. OAC, see in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Spring savings at Pet Value. Save $10 on select dry dog food from Go, Solutions, and Origin Amazing Grains. Shop your local Pet Value and petvalue.ca.
Tim's Smile Cookie is here, and with every bite, you'll help make a difference close to home because 100% is donated to over 600 local charities and community groups. Buy your Tim's Smile Cookies April 27th to May 3rd at participating restaurants in Canada for a limited time.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health, right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on. We're nearing 3 hours from puck drop tonight. The Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. Game 6. Oilers need a win to force a Game 7 on Saturday. Ducks want to win to get their first playoff series win since 2017, when they also defeated the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see what plays out tonight. I'm Jason Gregor alongside Connor Halley. We're coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. And man, it's going to heat up in here tonight. Of course, you got the Oiler games, your chance to win, score, and win. Well, there's been a lot of goals, so lots of chances to win there. Lots of great TVs. And right after the game concludes, salsa night. And it gets a little spicy in here on salsa night. I can tell you that. You'll have a great time. So Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, and we got a few juicy Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for you, so check it out. If you like the Oilers to win, maybe certain few players to get going. How about Jake Wallman? Just a few shots. And is Jack Roslovic due for a goal? We'll see. PlayAlberta.ca. The other game tonight in the National Hockey League has the Dallas Stars taking on the Minnesota Wild. That game will get going at around 5:40 Edmonton time, and then the Oilers game will get going just after 8 o'clock as we go out to Anaheim for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist, and they are hiring right now. Operators, pipe layer, top men, That's what they're looking for. Got experience? Great. If not, no worries. Apply today if you're looking to start a career, not just a job. gsconstruction.ca/careers. As Mark Spector joins us from Anaheim, where it's probably sunny there as it is here. Beautiful day in lovely Edmonton. Spec, how you doing?
Doing awesome, man. It is. It's a beautiful day here. Big game tonight. We're pumped up for this one. I'm not sitting in a bar at 4 p.m, but
hey, buddy.
Not everyone can be so lucky.
You probably weren't tasting margaritas earlier either. So it's been a good day on the show. So there you go. Thursday. It's nice. The Oilers, Dickinson, McDavid not taking the skate, but we obviously expect them to play. So it looks like Trent Frederick will be out. So no lineup changes for the Oilers.
Yes.
What's your thought, Spec, on the Oilers and how they played last game? They limited the Ducks offensively. And when you limit the Ducks offensively, your odds of winning go up significantly. They like to play run and gun. Was that the message again today for the Oilers, is if they can just continue to play sound defensively, that's where they're going to win? And have you seen maybe signs that they're trending in that direction?
Well, I think what we saw first of all, for sure in game 5 was like Anaheim's, they can skate and score and play. And like we always groused about the Ducks and how we all hated their style. So we should be saying the opposite about Anaheim. I love the way they play. They're going to get their chances. They're going to get some rushes for sure. But what Edmonton didn't do was just throw logs on the fire for them in game 5. They didn't. Bouchard, instead of turning a puck over at the offensive blue line, makes a fantastic little dribble or whatever we're calling it, and sets up the power play goal by Draisaitl. In games 1, 2, and 3, that puck ended up on an Anaheim stick going the other way. So I would say to you, you can't say never. I very much doubt you're just going to stop Anaheim from ever coming through the neutral zone with speed or 3-on-2. You're just not going to. But I'll tell you what, if you eliminate the ones that you cause, take away all the ones you give them, and maybe take a couple less penalties, now your goalie's looking at, 7 or 8 quality scoring chances again instead of 13 or 14. Now you got a chance to beat these guys.
Yes. What do you think about matchups for Anaheim tonight? And I know Chris Knobloch, he kind of teased it, Spec, a little bit that, we'll mix up the lines. Now, maybe he's just saying that. Very possible. Yep. Like that Hyman, Nugent, Hopkins, Podkolzin line, that's the line that I'd be like, hey, I want to try to get those guys out against that Carlson, Terry, Cutter, Gauthier line.
Well, I'll tell you, the issue with the nuclear option all these years is what do you have underneath of it? Right? When you put McDavid and Draisaitl together, you and me talked this to death. We both have decided, I think, that they're always a better team when McDavid and Draisaitl are on separate lines. And the reason we decide that is they don't often have enough underneath when you put them together. You become a one-line team. So in game 5, they weren't. Those guys, they got to play McDavid and Draisaitl together, and RNH and Hyman and Podkolzin were really good. 2 goals. Podkolzin was a beast. Best game we've seen RNH play in some time. It's starting to go in maybe for Hyman here. So I guess I'd say to you, Jay, those guys, not only are they a nice line, but they give you the ability to play your top guys together with Kapanen, which is something new, and I don't mind that one bit. That's the depth you need. If you can run Draisaitl and McDavid together all game, you can count on an even strength goal from them. And if you can get one from your second line and one from your power play, now we're at 3 already. And you're feeling a lot better about your offense for sure.
I'm sure, Spec, the conversation of Penikill had to come up because until they show signs of improvement, it's a major talking point. And I was looking at their numbers from game 1 to game 5, and it's basically like there's been no improvement. It's not like you had 2 bad games, Spec, and now you've had 3 good games, and your percentage doesn't look good. They started at 50% in the first game. They've been 50% in 3 games, 33% in 1 game, and 67 in another. Like it's not good. Nope. At all. What do you see? What's the conversation there when you look at Nurse and anybody else? Like, how can they get this penalty kill on track?
I don't know. Like it is killing them. It is killing them. There's, I honestly, I don't have a technical answer for you here. You'd like to see more shots get blocked. Like the ones you don't want going in are the long drifters from the point where there's 4 guys in front of your goalie he can't see and they're sifting something through. If you're going to screen your goalie, those got to get blocked. So I want to always say, Jay, like I feel like a really good power play is going to score some really good power play goals. And that's we watch the Oilers, man. Nobody shuts them out. So they're going to get their goals. What you can't do is allow them crappy goals, allow them goals, basically on point shots, goals that you kick in your own net, or that go off your foot and in like that. You just got to get rid of those. Nurse, for some reason, is cursed this year, but that has to stop. So I guess that's all I'd say is I know they're going to score some goals, but the Oilers have given up a lot of goals that I don't think they worked on in their power play meetings. Guys are just drifting long shots in. That stuff's got to stop here if you're going to hold these guys back, because the PK has been the series decider, man. Their power play, Edmonton's penalty kill, that's inside of there is where this series has lied the whole time.
Yeah. I look at the Oilers spec, and I saw you tweeted about it earlier. Like, I thought Roslovic showed some signs of life a little bit last game, but maybe I'm searching for anything at this point. But him and Savoy and Dickinson, like on paper, the speed of that line, they should be able to accomplish something. They should. You're right. Like two speedy wingers for sure. Dickinson's not skating great, but he's still a good player. I think we can get our head around Savoy in his first voyage through a National Hockey League playoffs. He hasn't been near the player that he was in the regular season. And I would hold out all kinds of hope and belief that he's a guy that will figure out how to be just as good in the playoffs or better one day, maybe not today. But Roslovic's the other guy, man. He's been around a long time. He's played almost 600 regular season games. And in those games, he basically scores a goal every 5 games. He's got 123 goals in 595. So it's rounded it up. He scores once for you every 5 games. In the playoffs, he scores 3 goals. He's got 3 goals in 50 games, right? So he's scoring for you, I don't know, do the math real fast. That's like 1 every 17 games, So his history is that he does not produce goals in the playoffs at anywhere close to the rate that he does. And it's a big sample size now, Jay. This isn't just, it's not Savoy who's just starting out. So, yeah, if I'm any team looking at Roslovic, that's no longer a narrative or a criticism. It's just a fact. And if he wants people to stop talking about it, there's one way to do that, right? Start scoring in the hard games, play better in the playoffs. And that's a Roslovic thing. They said, let me finish quickly. When they came to this team, everybody said, he's going to take lots of games off during the season. He has these huge lulls. You're going to hate him. And that hasn't been true. He's been really good this year. 21 goals, man. I liked his game. But they also said he won't perform in the playoffs. And so far, they're right. Yeah. It's not like he's played poorly. He just hasn't got much accomplished, right? And no points. He's a points guy, Jay. He needs to put points up, right? He's got 1 assist. Yeah, 1 assist, which isn't great, but it's obviously not very good at all. And the thing is, because it's not like if he's not scoring, he's being aggressive and physical, right? Like there's certain guys where if you don't have other dimensions, well, then you got to find a way to get the other dimensions, right? Yeah. Like be really good on the forecheck, get in and break pucks down, do something, because it is hard to score, right? It's hard to just look at a small sample. I'm sure if I went back and looked and said, did the guy go 5 games in a row this year without a goal? 100% he did. I know that for a fact, right? Probably did it a few times. But in the playoffs, everything's magnified. In the playoffs, every win matters. And you've got to, I don't see him, there was a great defensive zone play, or there was a great forecheck that led to a turnover, or beat Curtis Lazar. Curtis Lazar's drawn 3 penalties, for goodness sakes. At least you're kind of contributing in a way. Yeah, he's not hurting you. Like Roslovic isn't hurting you, but he's a player I expect, and you hired and you deploy him to help you. He's not supposed to be just a guy that skates around and doesn't get scored on. He's got an unbelievably great skill still. Or I should say speed. He's a great skater. And we watch him in the regular season bury pucks. Like when he comes down on a goalie with a wrist shot, he's really skilled at making it count and scoring, putting that puck within a couple inches of a pipe somewhere. And where does it go in the playoffs, Jay? We know the playoffs are about results, man. We've been around this game long enough. It's awesome to say you played well, but I want to see how you contributed in the playoffs. And you point out he's not fighting, he's not a big hitter, he's not a giant defensive guy. Then what's left for him? What's left for him is to get some points here and some goals, and it needs to start soon. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. What did you make of Knobloch? You were there on his. Do you think he's going to just play Draisaitl with McDavid? Do you think he'll split him up? What do you think he does tonight?
Nah, I think they'll play him. I don't think they're going to do much different than they did the other night. I mean, that every coach wants to play McDavid and Draisaitl together. You know that because they're just like 1 + 1 = more than 2. So I don't see him getting off that a bit. And I think the confidence that his second line's given him, I think he stays with what we saw the other day. And maybe it changes if they get a big lead, but that sounds like a bit of a dream. This one smells like a game that's going to go right down to it here.
What do you make of that Wild Stars series? In fact, the Dallas Stars have 3 5-on-5 goals.
Well, a couple things. I wouldn't mind being the Colorado Avalanche right now. Like, they're sitting home hitting golf balls for a full week while these other two teams beat their brains out. Denver, Colorado's in a good spot here, man. Holy moly. And I think Dallas needs to probably take a look at things there. Like, it's such a good organization. We all know that. Jim Nill is as good a GM as there is in the world. We all know that. But I think I'd say to you that it kind of like the Leafs, and I guess you could say the Oilers, who've done everything but win a cup. Dallas has been good for a long time, but they're not getting closer to winning a Stanley Cup, are they? They're good. They're really good. They're elite, but they're not getting closer to winning the cup. They've been to 3 Western Conference Finals in a row, and they lost the last one to Edmonton worse than they lost the 2 before. And now they're sitting here in the playoffs. It doesn't look like they might make it out of the first round. So that's a concern. You can be good, but if you want to be great, something's got to happen down there, and I'm not sure what it is, frankly. What's your thoughts?
Well, they've been good, but it's funny. Like, they lost to Vegas and Edmonton 3 years in a row in the conference final. And now they did go out and get Rantanen, who's I think can be a difference maker. I think he's hurt right now. Right. And so I think Dallas to me was Carolina of the West. Right? I don't even put Toronto in the category, dude. Toronto can't get out of the second round. Like, so trust me, Toronto's not in that category.
I just say Toronto's window is passed and they didn't do anything with it. That's all that's my comparison.
Well, Dallas, the good news for Dallas is like Jake Ottinger, Heiskanen, Wyatt John, like those guys are all young now, and they just acquired Rantanen, who I don't think is old. But what are they going to do with Jason Robertson? Right? Like, I've always kind of been perplexed why they didn't sign him. And guess what? That guy has said, okay, you guys don't want to sign me? I'm going to go out there, and I'm like, what he scored 45 goals. Now he's got 5 goals in the playoffs, got 8 points. Like, that guy's cashing in. And now Dallas is probably going to have to pay him more than they would have at this time last year.
Well, I think they looked at their team last year and said, we're not like they had the conversation in their boardroom that we're having right now. And that is, gee, we got a lot of good players, but they're not good enough to get us to a Stanley Cup here. So what are we doing? It's tough. Like, I see what they're thinking when they say we can't just renew all our players all the time and keep bringing them back. Like, obviously we're good, but we're not good enough. And that to me is why you don't sign Robertson. Now he's shoving it, where, because he's having such a great season. But I don't know, Jay, maybe that cap space is better spent on a different player in Dallas. Maybe they need, I don't know what they need, but I know what they have isn't good enough anymore. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's probably fair. Enjoy the game tonight. What
are you thinking, Jay? What are you picking? What kind of game we're going to see here? What's the score going to be? Who's going to win?
I don't know. Well, I want game 7s. I love game 7s. So I picked the Oilers to win tonight. Score, I think it's 4-2 with an empty netter. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. At some point there's going to be like now. Last game only had 5 goals, but it was a 3-goal deficit. I don't know. I was thinking suspicion this one might be closer, which means it could be 6-5 the way these two teams play. But yeah. I think Edmonton knows they can win a game better if it's low scoring, right? Not that they can't win a high scoring game, but I think Anaheim can only win a high scoring game. They're going to have to prove that they can win a low score, and they've yet to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I'd say to you, Jay, I've watched the Oilers try to run out a low-scoring game for 5 games now, and the best they got was a 4-1 game, and that's, they only allowed 1 goal, so they accomplished it finally in game 5. right? It took them 5 games to keep these guys under 3 or 4 every single night. In fact, they were averaging 5 goals against per night through 4 games. So my question is sort of, did Edmonton figure something out that is repeatable? If they did, they can win the series. If they figured out something that they can keep Anaheim's offense in check, then to me, they'll win the series. Was it one night and one night only? Now, I guess we're going to find that out, aren't we?
Yeah. Beck, have fun at the rink. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, sounds good, Jake.
It's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. We'll return more on the Oilers and the Ducks with DVD. It's the Gregor Show, live and on the Rocks. Jasper Ave, 118th Street, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
525 Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. The sun is out. Going to get your walks in early, maybe. Get set, ready for an evening out. Stopping it on the rocks. Get a good seat for the game. I would recommend calling to ensure you get your spot, but they always have walk-in tables available. Stop in and watch the game. All sorts of specials on food and beverages, as well as the score to win. When the Oilers score, you can win. And then after the game, it is salsa night tonight. Oof. Could see Oiler victory. There'll be lots of people ready to dance. So check it out. Jasper Avenue, 118th Street. The Gregor Show continues on. Always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. As we're going to get to our playoff report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com joins us once again. DVD, how you doing?
Good, Jason. How you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Geez, it's so bright in Anaheim. You got to wear the shades. I like it.
If you're in Southern California, you got to go outside, right? Like, it'd be ashamed. I saw Specs He's locked up in his hotel room. Go outside. It's sunny. It's beautiful. It's 22 degrees out here, so it's perfect.
I like it. How is the atmosphere outside the games? Like, is there a lot of people outside the building leading up to the game? Like, do they got things going on there or no?
No, they don't, because they're doing a bunch of construction outside the arena at Honda Center. They're trying to make a place called OC Vibe, and it's kind of trying to be like LA Live. So right now there's a lot of construction work around the arena. There's really not a place for people to kind of go before the game and kind of have tailgate parties like they used to have. So right now they're kind of sacrificing that a little bit, and they're hoping that this entertainment district gets up and running within a year. And it'll be like LA Live. If you've ever been to LA Live, they got the arena there. They got restaurants, bars, lots of stuff happening. Right now, they kind of just sacrifice that. There's not a lot of activity outside the arena before the game because there's so much construction going on around the arena. So I think they kind of lost that vibe. And to be honest, Jason, I don't think they expected to get in the playoffs this year. So whenever they planned this, they said, hey, our team's going to be really good in 2 years. So let's have this thing ready to go in 2 years. And I think the team is a little ahead of schedule. So that's the situation down by the arena. But I know there is a lot of excitement in and around the city. There's lots of Ducks gear going on. So, there's a Ducks game going on. And, this is a big one for this hockey team. There's a lot of excitement going into this game because, hey, if someone had told the Anaheim Ducks they would be up 3-2 with a chance to close out the Edmonton Oilers in Game 6, they would have taken that every day of the week. And that's how they're kind of approaching this as a huge opportunity, and they're going to try and make the most of it.
Yeah, I know, we've talked lots from the Oilers side, so I want to ask you kind of your viewpoint on the Duck side of things. And, Joe Quenneville, maybe the first time in the series, wasn't really enamored with his team's play after Game 5, and so I would expect them to be better. Like, they're obviously looking for a start like they had in Game 3, where they dominated the Oilers. The shots were 20-7, and it was just an endless cycle of them having the puck. Now, you talk about, hey, they're happy. They're kind of, playing with house money a little bit, being up 3-2. But how about the pressure factor? You think the pressure is starting to mount a little bit on a young, inexperienced team, and we'll see how they handle it tonight.
Yeah, I think as a series has gone along and as they've played as well as they have, I think expectations have risen. And so now they're getting to a point where their fans are going, wait a minute, we're not just happy to be in the playoffs. We can win a playoff round. And who knows, if the balls bounce our way, maybe we can win a second playoff round. So I think the weight of expectations is starting to get heavier and heavier on this team. But they do have veterans that have been here before that can help them in the situations. They have the Carlsons and they have the Kreiders and they have guys like that can help them out. But to me, this Anaheim Ducks team is very much like the 2017 Edmonton Oilers team that upset San Jose Sharks in the first round and then almost got past the Ducks in the second. They were facing a really veteran Ducks team that year, and the Oilers were a young upstart team. And that's how I see this series now. Now the Oilers are the veteran team, the team that's been around here for a long time, and the Ducks are a young upstart team. So you go into that dressing room and you talk to some of those kids, and they're built different now. There's no fear in that dressing room. They're not intimidated by the Oilers at all. They're not intimidated by McDavid or Draisaitl. They're just going to go out there and they're going to play their hardest. Yes, they make a lot of mistakes. That's what you get with youth. You get that enthusiasm, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to score a lot of goals. Joan Quinville is probably pulling his hair out sometimes because he'd rather you keep the puck out of the net than score a goal. But he had a similar team in Chicago with the young guys in Chicago. So I think that's what he's kind of looking at it. I asked Joel Quinville about this about a month ago. I said, hey, is that team in Chicago kind of similar to the team you got now? And he says, yes, there's a lot of comparables to those two teams, and you kind of have to live with the good and the bad. But there's no fear in that Anaheim room right now. They respect the Oilers, but they do not fear the Oilers. And I think that's a good thing going in. Those kids are just going to go out and play as hard as they can. They never think they're out of a game. And that's another problem, is that they're never out. They're never defeated. You really have to kind of keep going, and you can't let these guys get a chance to kind of come back in a game. And that's what the Oilers have done in the last couple of games before game 5, is that they looked like they were in control, took a bad penalty, and suddenly opened the door for Anaheim. Chris Knobloch said that's something we cannot do tonight.
Yeah. What's your expectations on Quenneville with line? Now, obviously, if Draisaitl and McDavid together, I think it's a no-brainer. It's Jackson Lacombe. But is he just going to rotate lines? Do you think now that 5 games in, there's a line of forwards he'd like out against that new dangerous duo on the Oilers?
Well, it'd be interesting to see if he goes power on power, if he goes his top line against the Oilers' top line. And I think that has to, like, or does he go with a checking line? Problem is, if you go with a checking line, you're going to have to play that checking line 20-some minutes to match the minutes those guys are going to play. And I think he's going to look down the lineup and say, hey, you guys want to go with those guys? Do you want to play those young rookies with, Troy Terry and guys like that? Do you want to go up against McDavid? And I'm pretty sure they'll say, yeah, we will. And I think that's how he'll start. I think he'll start with that young line because they want to keep McDavid and Draisaitl in the defensive end as much as possible. And they don't want to kind of be defending them for entire shifts. So if they can generate some offense, generate some chances at the other end, and keep those guys in the defensive zone, that's probably how you defend them best. And I think they have the talent to do that. So, if he goes out there and he throws Carlson and Terry and whoever else is on that line, kind of Gauthier, and he thinks, okay, you guys can generate with your speed. You can generate some offense against McDavid and Draisaitl. Let's do it. Let's see how that pans out. Now, if it doesn't work out, he can always change it. He'll have last change. But just talking to Chris Knobloch, too, I think he's not going to just go straight, throw him over the boards. I think he's going to play a little, try and get some line matching as well. But I see first line against first line today, and we'll see who wins that battle, and then they'll make some changes as they go along.
Do you feel McDavid is getting better health-wise?
Yes, I think he is. He didn't take the morning skate again. He's not practicing. He's keeping off that ankle as much as possible. But I sense that his minutes were up in game 5. I think his lateral movement's a little better. Like, he can still go straight up and down the ice. Like, anyone's ever rolled their ankle, going up and down straight is not the problem. It's going sideways. It's turning. It's cutting. And I think that's kind of the issue with Connor McDavid right now. The ankle just doesn't have the ability to cut and turn, and he's having struggle getting away from checks one-on-one, especially against, guys like Jackson Lacombe that are so mobile and can get around and have the big, long reach. He's struggling with that. He's struggling a little bit getting into the zone because you got to cut across the blue line to gain the zone. So I think that's where he's struggling. But I do think he's getting better, and I do think that the ankle is getting better. And I don't think it was a bad high ankle sprain. I think he just tweaked it. He said he just tweaked it. So when you tweak it, you stay off it. It won't be as long to kind of fix as if it was a kind of high ankle sprain, which I think the situation with Jason Dickinson's a little worse. His ankle injury is probably a little worse than Connor McDavid's. But sometimes if you tweak it, you just kind of got to get the feel back and got to get the strength back. And they're doing everything they can in that training room. He's sitting in that training room, I'm sure, for hours trying to get the strength back in this ankle. But I do see him getting better. And I see Draisaitl getting better as well. His timing is getting better. His strength is getting better. Like, he missed 14 games at the end of the season. So he said himself, it's going to take some time to get the timing, to get the wind, to get everything back. And I think he's getting better. We talked about that this morning in the Oilers dressing room. Hey, listen, the power play is going. Draisaitl's getting better. McDavid's getting better. Dickinson hopefully is getting better. The longer this series goes, the better off it is for the Oilers as those guys start coming back and start playing the way they're capable of playing.
DVD, enjoy the sun. Enjoy the game, and should be an exciting game 6 tonight, and we'll see if there's at least one, maybe two, we need Edmonton and Dallas to win tonight to have a back-to-back Game 7s on Saturday. And selfishly, as a guy who likes the stories, that's what I want to see. So Dallas, Edmonton tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
You betcha, buddy. That is Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. You can check it out. He's doing a great job covering the series at NHL.com to get all the tidbits of information that he has, including the nice weather. The Vibe in OC, LA Live, Vibe in OC. Nice. We'll return. We got Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning. We'll hear a little bit from Zach Hyman, Darnell Nurse, as we set you up for Game 6, the Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. Doesn't look like any lineup changes for the Edmonton Oilers. Same with the Anaheim Ducks. Maybe some line juggling at different times in the game. Probably will depend on how the game goes. So we'll come back live and on the Rocks. Jasper Abbott, 118th. Wrap up the final episode of the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
Wow, great hair transplant.
I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. From the big mall in the west to the Arena District downtown, Edmonton is beautiful. But when I see your lawns, I know one thing's for certain. Weeds are coming. Be proactive and take advantage of our early bird savings until April 30th.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, it's the final countdown, baby. Coming up after our show, of course, we will have Walker and Paulson getting you right to puck drop game 6. We had asked earlier, and I asked people, hey, what was your confidence level from a 1 to a 10 in the Oilers winning? We had quite a few 10s from Ricky Bobby, and others we had a 9.7. We did have a few 3s. Guys, I just don't think it's their year. We'll see. It was all over the map, honestly. All over the map, from 3 up to 10 on where Oiler fans are feeling. Hey, guys, I don't have a dog in the fights, not my teams, but I'd like to see 3 game 7s. Dude, I can get on board with that. Right? There's just something exciting. I'll watch a game 7. Teams, I don't even know who's playing. I'm like, is it a game 7? I'm in. I'll watch it. I love it. All right, you saw the BCHL had 4 game 7s in Monday and Tuesday this week. Unfortunately for the Crusaders, they weren't able to win, but that was awesome. That was outstanding. So there's a potential for 5, but you would need Utah to win, Edmonton to win, Boston to win, Tampa to win, and Dallas to win. But can 3 of those teams win? Yeah, I think it's very possible. Very possible. So we'll see how it goes down there. Let's get to Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, of course, born with cerebral palsy. He's in wheelchairs. Never let him slow him down. And he's always wanted to be in radio. And now Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
It just felt wrong to me. Hockey brings people together all the time, and when it's a part of the community, either a stone's throw away or, say, a 5 minutes away, you feel the hockey team is a part of us. Know what I mean? And as soon as it isn't within the city limits, or a main road, street, avenue, Uncle Pete's back alley, which divides community leagues or campuses, there's the word there, campuses. We have heard for a few months now that the University of Alberta hockey programs, Golden Bears and Pandas, are going to play in the Silent Ice Arena in Nisku next year because the old barn, the Claire Drake Arena, is going under renovations. And I support those renos, but to move the games to Nisku rubbed me the wrong way. Jason, you broke it this morning on Twitter. Stan Marple, the GM of the Golden Bears hockey program, resigned. Last day? End of May. Kevin Carius picked up on the story with some more interesting information. Games time have moved from 8 to 8:30. And get this, practices. Practices are at 6 in the morning. So you're up at 5, drive to practice, and then go to class after. Now hold the bus, Gus. I've always thought student athletics teaches time management, not test one's metabolism. My reporter's spideys have erected like, well, you figure it out. For Marple to resign, not retire, there is a difference, and not steadying the ship during renos and transplanting the season to Nisku could be part of a bigger picture. Something doesn't feel and sounds wrong.
Hark thy warning, as in the 2-minute warning. Lord Gregor, Lord Halley, Lord Kruger, hark. Thyself, Cam Tate, Sports 1440, onward at once.
Instead of putting his Shakespeare twist on there. Yeah, that's going to be really tough, man. I knew the games were starting later. I did not know, like 6 a.m. practice for like 6 a.m. on the ice. That means you're getting up at 5 at the latest to get out there, to get dressed. Like, I don't know. That's like that is not ideal. It's not ideal at all. So I know that it's a 1-year thing, but probably have to look at doing some other things to try to make that better. But we'll see where it goes. So my note. I do like this one. Hey guys, Ross Levick in the playoffs is being dry toast. Not going to upset anyone's stomach, but also not providing much nutritional value. From Hampton Steve. I like that. Like, he hasn't played poorly per se, where you're like, oh my God, look at the mistakes he's making, misses man. You're not seeing any of that, but you're just not getting a lot. Now, not every player is going to score, right? But that's why I'm saying, like, a time, hey, good forechecks, have some momentum swinging change, or some momentum swing shifts where it's like, okay, let's get it back here. Now we got rolling. So I like that. Hey guys, I might set a Guinness Book of World Records for the most swear words during an Oiler game tonight. Good or bad, JC? I guess it all depends, right? Good or bad. I'm kind of curious, because we've done this before on the show. We've asked our audience, are you the pacer? Are you the somebody who's just silent, is just like lets all of the emotions stay within? Right? Some people like, I got to get up and walk at intermission, right? Others are, I jump up, I'm cursing, I'm yelling. Others are fairly calm. There's lots of different types of fans in the games. I know some that are just like, whether it's, oh geez, I can't watch the game, man. People actually leave. Now the Oilers are down 3-2. So I wonder if those superstitious people, because they were down 3-1, like nothing that you had done in the first 4 games was working. It's not like the Oilers were winning because you weren't watching. So do you suddenly watch? Like, I'm always kind of, I chuckle a little bit because I'm not a superstitious guy about anything, right? Like, there's nothing where I think, oh, if I do this, it's going to impact the outcome of something else, especially not in sports, right? Now, hey, I know people have their little trolls and everything else that they feel, and hey, if it makes you feel better, awesome. And if you think it helps, great. Nothing wrong with it. But I'm just curious, when the team goes down 3-1, do you become Costanza? I do the opposite of my initial thought. I'd be curious about it. I don't know. Like, Cons, when you watch the Chargers, do you have any superstitions?
No. I mean, I've grown out of that. I know whatever I do thousands of miles away does not impact what goes on there. I will say, like, nervous moments, I will distract myself while watching the game. Like, when Benny had his bottles, I'd go sanitize them during the game. As I watched, just keeping busy. I'll empty the dishwasher, those sorts of things. I'll find ways to stay busy if it is like a tense moment, an overtime perhaps, but no superstitions for me.
That's fair. What about the D-man?
Jack, you want to grab that mic there? We'll slide it over to him right now. Superstitions.
Yeah, so going to be a boring little shot on the mic here, but no superstitions at all for me. Just straight watching the game. Nothing but faith.
All right, fair enough. I totally get it.
How about in your household, Gregor? Does anyone have superstitions?
Oh yeah, my son. He he's a young fan. My wife and I, when we were in Arizona, and they found, like, I don't know, these things, like it's like a stuffed pickle, right? And I don't know, it's like a positive pickle thing she found on the side of the road when we couldn't get a cab and we were walking forever. And so they kind of had it as a running joke. And then her and Jill, who we went with 2 couples, she bought one. So now they each have one. And so, I don't know, 2 years ago was it LA, I think? And anyway, so my son was like, hey, Mom, we should put that pickle up. They had lost the game and they won. So now he likes to have that just on the ledge, right? I kind of chuckle at it. And he, his big thing is when he goes to an Oiler game, he has to wear shades. Regular season game, anything. He wears sunglasses because he believes it helps. Because I think he just likes wearing his sunglasses, but he wears sunglasses in the ring. It makes me laugh.
Players might think that guy looks really cool.
What a dustpan!
I want to impress him.
Yeah, I find it quite funny. Hey, Greg, you're saying it's your fault they lost games 2, 3, and 4? No, I had nothing to do with it, Brad. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Just like when they won all those games last year, I had nothing to do with it. Nothing. I want the Oilers to win tonight because I want a game 7. There's just like a game 7 Saturday night in Edmonton and it's probably a good chance it could be an earlier start than a later start. That's good for everybody, right? You have more families who can watch the game start to finish, right? Everybody loves it. You've got, if you're in the party phase or you like to go out and socialize phase, well, you can go to On the Rocks. You can go wherever else, watch parties. Gets there earlier. You start early. Maybe you just go home earlier, or that just kickstarts the night. But could you imagine the city if Edmonton wins Game 7 at home Saturday night and it's 9 o'clock? Just imagine people, the horns are honking. They're back on because 2 days ago, there wasn't a lot of faith in Edmonton. A lot of people thought they were done, right? Like, we could read the text line. It's not their year. Let's just finish now. Let them get healthy. And I was kind of like, anytime somebody says that, I said, you know what? That's why you never made it anywhere as an athlete. And that's not a knock, but athletes never think they can't win. They never think they can't do something, right? Or driven people in whatever. You're a business person. You're like, you know what? I can turn this around. That's why you look at the stats. There's lots of business people that have failed and had a bankruptcy, and then they come back and have success because they're not afraid of failure, right? You got to be aware of it, not afraid of it. So, anybody's like, oh, if they're banged up, just let them get some rest. They don't think that way. And why do the Oilers need rest? Tampa Bay and Florida didn't. They won. They won 3 years in a row. Why couldn't Edmonton? Honestly. Why can't the players are like, because guess what? When you say time, you think they're going to take time off training? Not really. A lot of these guys will take a week off and they're right back to training. Right? And they train pretty hard. The training in a training day, you're working just as hard as you would in an NHL game. So I don't really buy that, to be honest. If the Oilers are good enough, they'll make it. Now you need a little bit of luck. So can they get a bounce? We'll see. Can they get a win? We will find out. Walker and Paulson coming up next. They'll get you set for the game tonight. Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks. Doesn't look like there'll be any lineup changes for the Oilers or for the Quackers tonight. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're looking for a vehicle? Well, there's best place to stop is goauto.ca. They got 15,000 vehicles to choose from, and a longtime partner with Connor McDavid. They're saying, go Oilers, go from goauto.ca. Good night. Here's Connor.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game day, Oilers and Ducks down in Southern California. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Anaheim up 3-2 in that one. In the NHL right now, midway through the first, Minnesota leading Dallas 1-0. They're also up in that series 3-2. In the association, the Knicks having their way with the Hawks, leading 50-19 in the second quarter. A win tonight wraps up that series. Later on, you got Sixers and Celtics.